Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. No intro music tonight. We don't feel like it, obviously. So what I've done today, because I can imagine that we're going to get jumped on massively with all the trolls that we've been getting in the chat in the past few weeks. I've set a 1 day limit on subscribers. So if you're a subscriber for less than a day, you can't participate in a live chat. We've got some
suck on that, trolls.
So we've got some moderators in there now and stuff like that as well. So look, I'm not saying I'm not saying every Arsenal fan or anything like that, but if anyone does start being a dick in there, I'm not being funny. The mods, fill your boots, get rid of them. just get rid. But look, tonight obviously we're not gonna do the player ratings tonight. I've decided that I can't face it. To be honest, I can't even remember the game. I only watched it up to 60 minutes. I couldn't go through it step by step. It was just awful. So we've decided we're not going to do player ratings. We are going to obviously talk about Moyes and Sullivan, and we'll give them a rating. He's never coming off his head again. Hopefully it will, because he'll be gone soon. So we're not going to do that. But then we're going to talk about the game. But then we are going to try and get into the phone calls as quick as possible. And I'm assuming that there's going to be quite a few that want to phone in tonight. So I've got some calls that are already queued up. So we'll chip through them first, and then what we'll do is we'll open up the phone lines for people to phone in once we've gone through them. All right. So Gary, how are you?
Yeah. I've got to be honest. That was a choker over there today.
I'm genuinely upset.
I was before the game. You know what it's like last few weeks. Honestly, I detest Moyes with every word that comes out of his fucking mouth. I detest him more and more and more. Yep. And I've been busy sort of making videos this week. Yesterday anyway. I made 3 videos, 1 for this channel and 2 for the other channel. And because I'm on this mission to get the fucker out. Right, he's got to go. And I'm not hiding my feelings. Right, none of us are. He's got to go.
Well, and today, go on, Gary. Like, we've got a hidden agenda. There is nothing hidden.
No, it's not hidden. It's an overt agenda. It's right out there. It's in the open. It's in the open. It's a mission. We want the fucker gone. We're not pulling any punches. We've been saying it for months. He's shit.
Cheers, Ryan.
He's useless. What he did today, the way he set that team up, we knew it was coming, right? We knew after getting away with it at the Emirates with a low block. We knew he'd do the same again, didn't we? We knew he'd do the same again. Fucker didn't disappoint, did he?
People are out there saying it weren't actually a low block. I'm not being funny. We were stood there like traffic cones. Jared Bowen was pressing on his own.
What I want to see.
They're saying it was a high press. Jared Bowen on his own, running between defenders in the middle of a rondo, was a high press.
Yeah, but that's because these people who stick with the low block and been saying all the time, we need to play low block. We need to play low block. Because we did and we got absolutely fresh, they've got to try and
keep face, save face.
Yeah, they've got to save face. That's it. Yeah, we've got to save face and say that wasn't a low block and that. Fuck off.
That's all they do. All they do is save face.
I wanted Johnson in that team, right? I did, but he had big decisions to make that he didn't take. Johnson should be in for Soufal. Soufal, fair play to him. He done a lap of honor. I like Soufal. He's a great guy, but his time here is done now, as far as I'm concerned. Like with Moyes, like with Souček. Johnson should have been put in at right back. He needs his position. We want him to sign a contract. We need him to. He's a great, even if you don't want him in the first team, he's a great player to have as a squad player. But how can you? We've played James Ward-Prowse out on the left wing. We've played Calvin Phillips. Now Ben Johnson. When you've got Cornet on the bench, what the fuck is wrong with this man? What is wrong with him?
Well, what's right with him would be easier to say, wouldn't it?
To Cornet. Danny Ings had the best performance he's had in a claret and blue shirt in the number 10. Really good. Quite an inspiring performance, really. We was all surprised by it.
Yep.
Never to be seen again.
And then when he does come on eventually, people start slaughtering him, saying he's off the pace and he ain't on it again. Listen, don't get me wrong, he was never amazing, but he was just that one game could have pushed him forward and having a better game the next game, then a better game the next game. But he ain't done that with him, just like he does with so many other fucking players. They have a good game, he drops them for the next week. He's a prick.
But that was so bad over there. I mean, in terms of in terms of the people that poured out, Gary, obviously you was over there. How empty did it get in the second half?
Well, honestly, it was terrible. I'll upload a little video that I made just to demonstrate it, right? But honestly, people just poured out, not only at half time, but when the fifth goal went in, especially when the sixth goal went in, my God, people just left in their thousands. And there was, that is the net effect of having David Moyes as manager, right? That is what happens.
And you know what made it even worse, as if that match couldn't get any worse, was that post-match press conference, right, where David Moyes at the end, where he's asked about the fans, and he says he basically dismisses anything that happened before he was here. West Ham were nothing before David Moyes came here. He literally said, well, 3 months ago, well, it weren't 3 months for a start. 3 months ago, I probably gave West Ham the best time that they've ever had. The last 3 years, probably the best time that they've ever had. Fuck off.
And this is a very good moment for me to just share something with the people that haven't seen it yet. I know people are struggling to find this, right? But Nick, just a quick plug to our other channel, Claret and Booze Reserves, which is where we put all the stuff that's got video clips in it, right? And there are 2 videos I uploaded yesterday. One reacting to the fucking fans Q&A, which was nothing but a puff piece, and also his fucking presser on Friday. But this one here, a 7-minute video I put together, right? The middle one here is about Europe before Moyes. And there was a lot of Europe before Moyes. We've done bigger and better things than what we've done with Moyes. And he thinks fucking West Ham started when he got here. Fuck him. So please go along, search for that, Claret and Booze Reserve, subscribe to it, watch those videos, let us know what you think. My mission on that channel, right, is to use video. Me and Nick and Mickey on here, we can only talk in words on this channel. We ain't getting fucking copyright strikes. But anything where I want to make it a little bit more impactful and put a video together, I'll slap it over there.
Sharky, member for 5 months. Well done, mate.
Yeah. Well done, Sharky.
Well done. I know Sharky like
the pew-pews. Oh, no, I've turned it off. Hang on, I better turn that back on. Hang on.
You got 1 good month in that, or maybe 1 good month of football in those 5 months, Sharky. Or maybe 2. Yeah. Listen, it was disgusting. It was disgraceful over there today. I will upload this video to just give you an illustration of what it was actually like. But it's just to say there were more empty seats than there were people in seats. And I think when 6-0 happened, we tried to turn it around and have a bit of laugh and a joke, saying we're going to win 7-6 and stuff like this. But really, the harsh reality of the situation took over after that. And we all started getting a little bit morose because it was clear that Arsenal, who were laying on 45 minutes, it was clear that they had just stopped trying. They'd taken their best players off the pitch. They'd brought on some kids, and we would know better.
No. Well, I'll tell you what I will say. Once you're done with this, I don't know whether you go on the West Ham Fan TV fan cams, which I always do after a game. But there's a new guy on there. I've not seen him before anyway, a chap called Lucky. So if you search for that, and the tagline in that's been coming for a long time. It's a bloke with a bloke wearing a cap. He just completely nails it, and I was kind of choking up watching it. It was so emotional, and you know what? That's kind of how I felt earlier on. It is. I know it turns into rage with me with things like that, but seriously, I'm upset. I'm upset by this. Really, I'm upset. We're still in this situation. I'm upset that it's going to probably have to get worse than what it is now before they do anything. I'm upset that scraping a last-minute winner against Nottingham Forest will reset the clock, and we're going to have to go through this again. It's fucking torture. We're stuck in purgatory. It's rubbish. And what I'm hoping, because I've said before, is that David Sullivan he's all about the mainstream media as opposed to caring what the fuck West Ham fans think. Would you know what the West Ham fans did today? On national TV, they embarrassed him. He don't care so much about the football, but by pouring out of that stadium, and they kept on switching to it on the on Sky.
They had a helicopter up, didn't they?
That is an embarrassment. That is going to embarrass him, and he deserves fucking embarrassing. And irrespective of what those idiotic pundits continue to say, whether that's Alan Smith on the commentary, or fucking Merson and Keane saying that's not a David Moyes team. That's all on the players. You don't watch West Ham. That is literally what we've been like. Not for just this season, for 2 seasons now. Yeah. For 2 seasons we've been like that. We've conceded, listen to this stat, over 400 shots on our goal in 24 Premier League games. And people are surprised that we've started conceding. We conceded 6 goals today Who was our best player?
Keeper.
Yeah.
The fucking keeper. He let 6 in. He's still our best player.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace what's going on. This is what it was like.
What was that? What minute was that?
That was about, I don't know, about 65, I think.
65 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
How do you like that, Sullivan? And you know what? People keep on saying to me, it's probably one disagreement that I had with Gio with that, and that was with the amount of people that will recommit to season tickets. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Maybe the number is more than I anticipate. But I'm telling you, you're gonna see nothing but empty seats in that place. Because you are going to see that, because if we're not in Europe next year, a lot of the tourists that we get, they're kind of here to see the big stars, and they're here for the European games. They're just here to watch a Premier League game. But you know what? We play the worst football in the league, the ugliest team to watch. I'm amazed we get so much fucking TV coverage because we do not deserve it. We don't. We're frauds in the Premier League. That's what we are. The reason the Premier League is the richest fucking league in this world, in the world, is because of the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Aston Villa, all these teams that go out there to build teams and get managers in to play good brands of football to make it exciting. That's how you attract a worldwide audience. We're a fucking walt on the face of the Premier League. That's what we are. We're the ugly fuck. Yeah. We're ugly.
Yeah, we are. And look what happened. Look what he said after the game. They asked him a question, really softball questions, because it was his favourite West Ham journo again. Basically asked him, all right, what went wrong today? And he's like, he's looking stumped. He's like, I can't figure. He's like more or less saying, I can't figure it out. We did everything right. We it was we set up right and everything else. He said it just wasn't executed properly. The players just weren't at it today. We weren't at it. Who takes responsibility for it? Oh, it's shared responsibility, not I take responsibility, right? And when he goes at the end, I mean, he didn't come out with a perler that he always does when he asked about the fans. I thought he was going to come out with the old favourite, which was, fans should come and support their team, right? Which is, when have you ever gone and fucking watched a football match and supported a team, David? You asshole, right?
He ripped also in the other press conference, Gary, on the main one. He ripped into the players more as well. He did. He started saying, things like tackling and heading, that's their job, he really started to rip into
what, did you notice?
You know what? He doesn't accept responsibility for it.
No, he doesn't. No, nothing to do with him. I'll tell you what, did you notice the most embarrassing thing on that pitch today was Calvin Phillips, who came on, and by the end of the game, right? By the end of the game, he came on for Alvarez, pretty much our best player, right? That, the whole reason Declan Rice had a clear shot at goal for number 6 was Alvarez weren't on the pitch, right? That's simply, he came on. By the end, Calvin Phillips was just running around, lunging at people, fouling them. That's literally what he was doing.
Calvin Phillips, I watched him when he first came on. He came on in the second half. It was all I could bear up to that. When their second goal came, no. But when their second goals, but when he first came on, he was getting on the ball. He was in space. He was in that position. He was picking some good balls out. But then 2 or 3 times, because you can see what happened. What happened was that it was a long ball. It was a long ball going the whole way through. It was knock it sideways, give it back to Areola, hoof it long, we lose it. It comes back again. That was when we had the ball. Well, what he did was he's put Calvin Phillips in there to try and give us to pull a worldie out. So Calvin Phillips pulled out a couple of passes, but then all of a sudden we started giving him the ball. Calvin Phillips is a quality player. He don't hit the ball to nowhere. He's looking forward and he's like, so he ends up going sideways. There's nothing there. There's no one in front of him. And he plays James Ward-Prowse, who did fuck all. He plays Souček for their set-piece threats. How was we ever going to win corners? We weren't going to win corners today. We weren't getting up the pitch. So what was the point?
Let me give you an example, right? Towards the end of that game, we actually got a corner. Calvin Phillips is standing there in front of the referee with his arm round the neck, visibly, of the player that is supposed to be marking him, trying to give away a fucking free kick. He then charges off straight from that and jumps into someone and gives away a free kick. About 2 minutes later, he runs about 30 yards, slams into someone, gives away another free kick. The guy was just running around fouling people. You can't tell me he was any good. Right, Ward-Prowse was shit.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, Steve.
He says
he's shit as well. Ward-Prowse should be on the
Gary, he says that was embarrassing today. No fight, no passion, no desire, no fucking hope. If they had passion, you guys, we had, mate. Do you know what? Not just us. every West Ham fan. Well, not every West Ham fan, but that's what I mean. You get some people that come on. I do sometimes regret when I do the post-match reactions because I go too far. Like, for instance, that one earlier on, I felt it was too sweary. But it's an instant reaction.
No.
But it's how I feel after the game. And if you feel that stops. But you know what? You get other fans that mock fans with that passion. And then they say you're not a fan. Well, what? I mean, I don't think these. It's like they're like Moyes. They're fucking emotionless about football. They must be. They must.
Do you know what though, Nick? Yeah, you can't stop doing that if that's how you feel, because that is not only a release for yourself, but that's a release for a lot of other people because they feel the same way. So when they see you do that, it's like it's a release for them as well because you're just saying what they feel. Oh no, it's a genuine thing because I used to feel like that at the same time when you used to do it, and I know a lot of people actually appreciate that.
Do you know with that one, I did calm myself down before I went on screen as well. I tried to calm it. But I did say this time I gave a bit of a warning at the start. If you don't like swearing, then you know. Swearing. You don't like swearing.
You don't like swearing.
I agreed with every word. Thanks, especially the fucking bullshit we've taken this year, just for calling out how crap the manager is. The amount of shit we've taken, all the wankers on Twitter who fucking doxed us, you know, who've been calling us out, been posting our videos and taking the piss, the pylon that you had earlier in the year. Gary,
that video that I've done there, we go and shit house and win against Nottingham Forest. They'll be clipping that. They'll be all over Twitter next week.
Of course they will. Because they're off of the latest positive thing, the slightest positive thing that happens. They're fucking all over it, right? Any great, any brilliant. Forget the 6-0 and the 3-0 and the 1-0 and the 0-0.
Do you know what I've started doing on Twitter? I've started basically jumping on and defending individuals. So on X, when they go through someone's history, start rummaging through someone's.
I know they do. They're right little wankers.
They do that.
They
And
really are.
They post tweets, bearing in mind that Twitter is an instant reaction thing. You tweet how you feel at that time, and then they'll go through someone's history and they'll retweet it and stuff like that. Well, I've started defending individuals, right? And I got criticised earlier on because I did lash out on Twitter. And when you coming out criticising fans, this, that, the other, I said, you know what? Fans. No. But I said, you know what? How about you lot start jumping on and defending individuals when they're being shit on by other fans? How about you start doing stuff like that? Because they don't pipe up, do they? They don't.
No, they keep it to
Nice one, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks.
Oh, you're a top man. Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, these people, they're going to get their comeuppance very, very soon because all this bullshit they've been putting out there, those chickens are going to come home to roost very soon, and people are going to see all the stuff they claim to know about football. They know a square root of fuck all.
What it's going to be now is, I was Moyes out all along. It's just I want to respect the manager, and you know, and it's
I know they'll try and turn it.
It is now, right?
Yeah,
it's switched now to Sullivan. That's what it is. Bearing in mind, there ain't a West Ham.
We know what that is. We know what that is.
But hang on, there ain't a West Ham fan around that does want Sullivan to fuck off. We all want him to fuck off. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
But by blaming Sullivan, you're absolving David Moyes. That's what you're fucking doing. Yeah. So no. And you know what? If you support Moyes, you're supporting Sullivan because David Sullivan wants to feed us this shit football. I've said it before. If it goes back to 7, they're supposed to be delivering entertaining football. One of their pledges that they made. Do you know what? If you're eating that and you're accepting it, then you're backing Sullivan anyway. The fact of the matter is, I believe in dealing with one problem at a time. The thing that affects me most as a West Ham fan is what happens on the pitch. We're in the stadium, and that man is the reason I am fucking miserable watching West Ham at the moment, and I want him out.
Yeah, let me just say this here, because I know a lot of certain channels, just you said, blaming Sullivan and that. Yeah, listen, he's got to take a massive share.
We know that.
He's got to take a massive share. He's got to take a massive share of the blame. Of course he has. But the difference is, us as fans, we won't ever change. A voice will never change the ownership.
You can't sack an owner.
Only money will ever change an ownership, right? So we've got to choose our battles and our wars. And the battle is against Moyes, and the war's against Moyes. To be fair to you, he's the one that we've got to concentrate on just to fuck off at, because he's just ruining it. That he's a toxic man.
He is, mate. Mickey, what was your thoughts on that game earlier, mate? Just quickly, honestly,
you know what the difference was, I weren't surprised. We know that from the WhatsApp group that we had, and we were talking, none of us were surprised. We all said 4-0, 5-0. Nick, you
Well,
said
I called
4-0,
4-0
and then
half-time.
straight away you went by half time. You were
Yeah.
spot on with it, yeah? So the difference is we wasn't surprised. I weren't even angry when the goals were going in, to be fair to you. I just thought, well, this ain't a surprise. But what was is a disgrace. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a surprise, but it was a disgrace. And it's do you know what? In a way, as much that's so embarrassing for the club, them fans walking out. But there was a little bit of me thought, well, fucking done, because it seems like they were voting with their feet. We ain't watching no more. Let's go.
And do you know what? I'm going to be open and honest. At that point, I was disgusted. I was disgusted at half time. To be honest, the second half might as well have not happened. It was a formality what happened there. You know, they scored 2 more goals. It was always going to happen. But do you know what? While I was recording that video earlier on, I was sitting there thinking, do you know what? If they've scored 6, I hope they score 10. I hope they score fucking 10 just to seal the deal. Do you know that is their biggest away win, Arsenal, since 1930 odd, was it?
Well,
Gary?
1935, and it's basically just equaled their biggest away win ever.
Yes, equaled their biggest away win ever in the top flight. It's ours. It's our heaviest defeat for about 23 years.
Well, yeah. Well, no. It's our biggest. It equals in goal difference our biggest home defeat ever. We lost 8-2 at home to Blackburn in 1960 something.
Yeah. But to have you like that, and like I said, I'll be open and honest with it. To have you feeling like that, to feel like they've scored 6, I fucking hope they scored 10, because we didn't deserve any more than that. And do you know what? People will go on and they will blame the players. The players were shit. Yeah, they were. But I said it on that video, and I mean it. He does it every year throughout the course of a year. These demoralising tactics, they get the club down. It's all about mitigating the opposition threat, not about what you can do to hurt the opponent. That's probably what Declan Rice was alluding to when he went to Arsenal. And within 2 weeks, he's saying, I've never known anything like this before. Because lo and behold, the coach is talking about how you can affect the game to beat the opposition. Well, with us, with Rio Ferdinand, he said it about Moyes at Man United. This is a guy that says that we should stick with him. He said he lost the Man United team when we were playing Chelsea, when they were in their pomp, and the whole week in the lead up to that game was dealing with Eden Hazard. That was it. That was it. Nothing about us. It was how do we deal with Eden Hazard. The guy is fucking... I can't stand him, and he does lose the squad, and they were trying to deliver his game plan. You had Bowen running back, making tackles outside our own 18-yard box. You had Alvarez throwing his body on the line, lunging into challenges. The players out there were trying, but it is a thankless task. Arsenal were brilliant on the fucking ball, and you give it to them. What do you expect is going to happen, you fucking idiot?
Yeah. No, honestly, that was no team who is 8th in the league loses 6-0 at home in the Premier League to another team. Nobody does it at home. Nobody. That does not happen. He started something new there. That does not happen, right? That is embarrassing, and it should not be allowed to. He should not get away with that. The fucker should be sacked tonight.
He will get sacked because we've got 3 winnable games coming up. We've got 3 winnable games coming up, and he'll probably win one of them.
Yeah. He's got to stop this, though. He's got to stop this. The cunt's being allowed to take the piss out of us, out of his own fans. As somebody said, who shall be remain nameless the other day, he said behind the scenes, he was asked, does Moyes give a fuck about the fans? And quite frankly, he said, no, he doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck about the fans, right?
No.
Yeah, that is coming from the horse's mouth, right?
Coming from the horse's mouth. But
fans are there to be used when he can use them. So when they're singing his name, he'll go and he'll tell Salim, look out, they're singing my name. He will
never, ever
look out, they're adoring me, right? As soon as it turns fucking hostile, he doesn't want to know. He goes off into his little hidey hole and starts fucking orchestrating the media, asking for a new contract because he knows he's lost the crowd and it's only a matter of time, right? He's on his last few lives now.
Thanks, Gary.
If Paqueta comes back next week, thank you, Gary.
But Gary, you say he's on his last few lives. Look, we've been here before. Last season was the worst. I mean, to be fair, Pellegrini did way less than Moyes did last season in the league for him to fucking to get sacked. He was worse. Pellegrini's season where he got sacked, Moyes was worse last season.
Of course he was. Of course he was. He looks back as last season as a success. It's a fucking 35-game relegation battle. Is that a success? Did I miss something? Prague was a success.
It's yeah, it was. No, look, I'm just fucking fed up with it. I don't know where we go from here. I know he ain't going to get sacked now. They're not going to because they want to run him until the end of the year. But what are they doing? Because look, at the end of the day, just say for instance, the information that I've got is true, and they're going to replace him in the summer. Blah 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 blah. That's fine. I'll get that. I respect that. But don't torture us with this shit. Do you know what? You've got Heitinger in there. We've got a coaching staff.
Just
we don't need to get a permanent manager.
No.
We're not getting relegated. Just get rid of him. We'll run with a caretaker team until the summer. Whatever happens. We'll all go because the fucker's gone.
Stop him talking. I don't want to hear another fucking word out of his mouth, right?
No.
In the post-match, the fans' Q&A, the pressers, where he fucking gaslights the hell out of us, right? I don't care if we win or lose. Put Billy McKinley on there. Put Kevin Nolan on there. I don't want to hear the fucking voice anymore.
Who gives a fuck if he likes
pie?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck if he likes pie and mash or not? Well, I do, but I like it dry, like you said.
But
that's what I said. It looked like they was from the Junior Hammers because there's no way an adult will ask them fucking questions.
They're written by the PR team. They're written by the PR team, Mickey.
Yeah.
Look. He was trying to make him look a bit human. But
they've been doing that. Whetstone has been putting out. Whetstone's been putting out positive polls all week. Puff piece after puff. I wonder what Whetstone's going to be doing tonight once he's fucking spoken to his big daddy. I wonder if his big daddy's going to tell him to tone it down a bit.
That's how you'll tell people that Moyes is on his last legs and he's about to fuck off. When Sean Whetstone's tone changes on his posts,
he's been puffing him all fucking week.
When his tone changes on his post, that's when you know the end is near because that's what'll happen. And the thing is, they haven't got to do this. They haven't got to do it. Like I said, we ain't getting relegated this year. There is no risk. What's going to happen at the moment? We're more likely to completely fuck this season up with Moyes. Just get him out, put a caretaker team in charge, and just run it to the end of the season and appoint someone properly in the summer. Just do that. I'm fucking sick of this. And I do hate Sullivan. I hate him with every fucking fibre because he's orchestrating this. And he's the reason that bloke is still here. He's the reason he's still here. And I want him to fuck off. But the least he can do, like I said to you, we can't sack you can't sack the
board. The only thing they can do is
board. That's a bit deranged to think that you can. You can force them into selling. You can do that. But at the end of the day, you can't. We tried it before. It didn't fucking work. You can't sack the board. But what we can do, we can get this twat out that is destroying our love for football. And he is. I want him out. I want him gone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Assad.
Cheers, gents. Thanks, mate.
Everyone appreciates it. We're just on one
tonight.
Sorry, we're all a bit mad.
Honestly, as much as I think before I go to the game, right, throughout the week, I sort of think, be quite handy if we lose this one because otherwise, if he wins it, it gives him another fucking. You might get him a new contract, right? But when you're at the game, you start thinking, no, I don't want to see us lose, right? And early on, we got after the ball for the first 5 minutes. I thought, oh, this looks all right, and then suddenly, bang, 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 bang. It's like so demoralising. And you try and put a bit of a light, try and take it a little bit light, sing a few funny songs and stuff like that, but then after that's all expired, you think, oh, fuck,
down. Going back to what Nick said earlier on about Declan Rice and that, and what he was saying, you only got to look at even just the players that have just left. Look at 4-0. He had a little, he just scored a brilliant goal, and that's because he had a bit of freedom.
I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him.
I got to someone
£7 million quid.
I got told this. I don't know if this is true or just what someone was joking about. But Ben Rama, he was end up being like he created the most chances in the game for Leon or something. I can't. It's just the shackles are off. They're playing attacking football, and this is what you get from attacking players.
The difference is, what you've got people on Twitter that are pretending that they're happy for him, but then they're going, oh, that league suits him. It ain't got fuck all to do with it.
As in saying it's a weak league.
I'll tell you what it is. It's an attacking player being given freedom to attack without constantly... Basically, he had that taken off of him. He was spending his whole time as a second fullback whenever he played. Playing in a fucking team like this, you've got to be a magician. You've got to be world-class like Paqueta. You have to make anything happen.
I love Kudus, but then look what even him, like the last couple of games, is what you want to say, but he's looked like he's being a bit moist. Like now he's getting his foot under the table.
He's defending now. He's always back in our own half.
Well, listen, right? Listen, when you line up with when you line up with 2 attackers in your team, what do you expect, right? I mean, he tries his hardest to make something happen.
Sorry, Lou.
It'll be up on the thing at the end of the not at the end of the show. Once we start taking calls in, I'm not going to put it up yet because I don't want to get swamped. There's a lot of people watching.
Canucks was trying his hardest. He was trying his hardest to make something happen early on. You know, he nicked the ball in the first minute, and he was, whenever he got the ball in an advanced position, he'd try to run at people, try and make something happen. But he's literally on his own, and with Bowen occasionally, right, somewhere near him. Other than that, there's nothing. Our 2 little players, they are little players. How are they going to make a difference against that enormous Arsenal backline? Have they got 2 excellent centre halves there? Little Bowen's playing against 2 fucking massive and very good centre halves. What the fuck is he supposed to do?
Given a complete run around. I mean, it was an absolute pointless, thankless fucking task. Not going out and getting a striker, relying on Antonio to come back and look, if he does come back and he plays well, it's only for a couple of games. He'll be out again. You know, and I don't blame him for that. He's getting older. His body's breaking down. The fact of the matter is to not get us. But what would be the point in getting a striker? We've had strikers, whether you like them or not. We've got one in Ings. We've had Haller. We've had Skamaka. The geezer doesn't play a style of football that works with a striker because I'm fed up talking about it. I'm repeating myself all the time.
Can I just say this has been deliberate.
It is.
This has been deliberate. From game 1 of this season, we had 4 attacking players in the team because Fornals was playing as well, right? Fornals. The next game, Ward-Prowse came in, replaced Fornals. At that point, Moyes decided there's no room for Fornals or Ben Rama in the side anymore. Therefore, we're down to 3 attackers. Paqueta,
cheers, mate.
Kudos eventually, and Bowen. And it stayed at 3 for all that time. And then what happens is Paqueta gets injured. So what does he do? He takes the opportunity to go down to 2 attackers. So he's gone down from 4 to 2. This is a conscious decision by Moyes.
Thanks, mate.
Right?
Cheers, mate.
It's deliberate. If he could get away with playing 11 fucking defenders, he would.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the player shop Danny Dyer.
I've only just fucking got what you said.
I know. You went, thanks, mate. All serious. Now read it. Thanks for the £2 now. Fuck off.
He's more of a Peggy Mitchell than a Danny Dyer, to be fair.
Yeah. But no, I think it's a deliberate strategy of Moyes this season to reduce the number of attacking players in his team from 4 to 3 to 2. He might go back up to 3 when Paqueta comes back. Who knows, right? 3 is his absolute maximum that he will ever play now. It was 4 all last season. It was 4 in the first game of this season. Ward-Prowse is fucking him and Souček. I'm telling you, we're playing with 9 men.
Oh no. Well, do you know what? Anyone who saw it was so refreshing. Anyone who hasn't seen it, the Ian Bishop interview with Gio, the guy was brilliant. It's only 18 minutes long. Go and give it a watch. It's really refreshing. I mean, the one with McAvenny was good as well, but this is brilliant. Bishop's a great character, and he was literally and Gio did actually confirm. He said he's the same off screen as he is on screen. He said his opinions. He was so open with him. He was brilliant. And he said the same thing. He said we're playing with 10 men. We're playing with 10 men. With Souček, you know, I mean, you think of the player that Bishop was watching. It must be making him, you know, want to claw his eyes out.
Well, I don't, you know, all those players.
You can fuck off.
Those players played football. They were football players, right? I don't know how any of those former players could possibly accept this, right? I don't know how they could, and we know behind the scenes they don't, right?
I'll give Papa a pew pew. Go on, Amanda's just. There we go. We're rationing the pew pews because they piss a lot of people off. So we'll do half as many unless they're requested.
What? Yeah.
I said we're rationing the pew pews.
No, but unless they're requested. But
yeah.
Amanda keeps saying, "Go on, a pew pew for this one and a pew pew for that one." Go on, mate. You're right. I'll
tell you what I think we should do because I think there's. I imagine. I don't want to go through it. I don't want to go through the game. I don't think we need to talk any more individually. I don't think we need to talk any more individually about Moyes. Everyone knows how we feel about him. I'm sick of him. I can't stand him now at this point. And this is the thing. He had to go after Prague. This was always going to happen. You know, that literally saved it papered over some serious fucking cracks. That tournament that we played. Papered over serious cracks. Hey, jump on! Fuck's sake!
Come on, John.
Log in. Come on.
Well, it's a good question, John. Why do we buy a player for one thing and coach it out of them? Because Moyes has a system, and every player fits in that system. Don't matter what player they are, they fit into his system in a predefined position.
Yeah, no, I know, but it is exhausting. Right, I've got some things we've got to chip through. So let me make these phone calls first. I'm going to just so you know as well, because like I say, the big thing at the moment is if you've got an opinion, right, it's an agenda. And your narrative is you explaining what that opinion is, right? So that's basically, just so you know, that's Generation Z. That's kind of what it is. So we're going to get with it as well. So from now on, if you change your mind from David Moyes in to out or vice versa, you're no longer a flip-flop. You are a gender fluid. That's what you are. So thank you very much, Obsidian Curse. Told you I was going to nick that.
Thanks, Grey Fox.
Yeah, I'll get this paired up.
God, it's all right. There's a few in here, Gary saying about you look like Reggie Cray. So we've had Reggie Cray and a pan shop Danny Dyer on tonight.
So I'm so exhausted with it. I want it to change. I'm saying it's getting harder and harder.
I feel empty, honestly. I feel empty.
I was saying to Gary, backstage on it. I was saying to Gary, he's soul destroying really, and you kind of, it's hard to get excited about coming and doing these, but literally now half hour in, it is like a bit of therapy. We're having a bit of a laugh and that.
Yeah, right, that's working. Okay,
he's nice to do that.
No, it does work, but I don't know that this is going to work. I mean, normally when I blow me top, because people say, "What's your blood pressure?" Well, I've got I'm a bit unique. For me, having a little tantrum and blowing me top is a bit of a coping mechanism for me. It makes me feel better, so it does. So don't ever worry about that. I can have a little rant, but you know what? I always normally feel better afterwards. What's that? What's that? I don't mind.
Want to delete him? Fuck you.
I don't mind.
Yeah, this geezer loves me. I got him here. He does love me. I don't want to say his name because
Kumar Sunzel.
Yeah, he loves me. Always does.
Don't be nasty. Right. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Rumford on.
Well.
Hello, is that Gary from Rumford?
Mr. Rumford.
Hello, Nick. Hello, mate.
How are you?
What do you say after that?
Well, what can you say?
I know, it's beyond belief.
New contract, that's what you're saying, it?
I went beyond angry today. You know, you get angry and you go beyond that almost. You sit there and you just stare at the screen. You can't believe what you're watching.
You feel empty.
You know, like, listen, it's good tonight. Everyone can get some, get it off their chest, and it's good therapy, including for me. But it's just weird. It's such a weird season in a way, because December comes, we win all in games, 4 clean sheets in a row. And the strange thing was, you know, the centre back pairing when we kept most in clean sheets, Nick? It was Mavropanos and Apona.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe he dropped Mavropanos when Aguirre came back.
No, I couldn't.
Why?
Aguirre, I tell you what, he's got he just
Cheers,
not.
Ladouche.
Listen, you
no
yourself,
from me.
right?
No from me.
No. Maybe doesn't suit our system.
Hang on, Gary. Let me ask you this question quickly from Guy Ladouche. He says, "What do you think of Mourinho in?"
No.
No, because you want more. People say they want more.
A different style. You want a different style.
I don't want more of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the thing was, we've seen Arsenal in the last few weeks. They had a top this season on free kicks and corners from headers at the far post. I think Gio said earlier, all our tall players were at the front, and they come in steaming at the back post to get them 2 headers away. He's criminal.
Yeah, no. Look, what I'm saying to you is the way Arsenal attack corners is the same every time, more or less, and it's like we were unprepared for it.
Yeah.
You know,
nobody's seen Arsenal play.
When we went to 1-0, you know, I mean, like someone said earlier, on YouTube. Even at 1-0, Tony Moyes, he doesn't react. He just stands there, and you could see the writing was on the wall. If we'd got in at 1-0 at half time, or even 2-0, at least he'd come out. At least he got something to play for, and pull one back. Who knows? But it was just terrible. It was embarrassing. I mean, that's up there one of the worst performances I've ever seen from West Ham, particularly to lose at home like that.
Yeah, no,
You know,
it was.
But you just
It was.
can't believe, you look at December and January, and the only other thing is, as much as we're all going into Moyes tonight, and listen, I'm not going to defend Moyes at all. People, you can say what you want, I'll agree with you.
I've said it all, mate.
Sullivan's got to take some of the blame for this, and the players.
Yeah,
completely.
Well, can I say one thing though before we get into this is due to the transfer window? This isn't due to the transfer window. The effects of the transfer window will be felt later on in the season, because David Moyes being David Moyes, even if we'd have gone out and bought 3 or 4 players, you wouldn't have been seeing them in these recent games. You wouldn't have been seeing them at all. You wouldn't have. He wouldn't have played them. So the transfer window has not impacted what we're seeing now in the fucking slightest. Where we'll notice the tremors of the transfer window is if and when we probably get those nailed on. What do you call it?
What other club would go in for the top 6? Sells 3 players and brings in 1 week in your squad. When you've got Europe,
no other club would do that. Not one.
And you say about not impacting, Nick. The fact is today we've got no Paqueta. We've sold Ben Rama and Bornell didn't play on the left. We've only got Cornet. He didn't get a look in again.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. He's got Cornet.
Ben Johnson out there.
Yeah, but
he's got Ben Johnson out there.
But he's got Cornet and he won't use him.
No, it'd have been better off today going with 3 at the back and playing wing backs, or put Johnson at left back and put Emerson further forward if you're going to do that.
Yeah,
because like, at least that way you've been a bit more solid. But there's some, I just can't believe, you know, like the guy was on the radio today, won the Radio 5 Love or something, and he said, like, you know, you look at that performance and you think you've got to remind yourself you're not in the bottom 3 fighting relegation like last season. You know, we'd have won today, we'd have gone 6. We've got Europe next month.
Yeah.
And yet, it's almost unreal this season. I mean, we lose 5-0 at Fulham, we go and beat Tottenham, Arsenal away, beat Wolves, beat Man United, and then this year, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
What do you all 3 of you think? What has gone wrong? Because we got to the end of December, we beat Arsenal. The last game we've won, and then obviously the players have gone away. We had the injuries, Paqueta and Bowen, and then we've drawn all them games and we've lost a couple as well.
Well, Gary, can I cut you off and tell you what's wrong?
I've got my view on it, go on.
Yeah, but everything's wrong. Everything's been wrong all season. Do you know how many shots that we've conceded on goal this season in 24 games? Can I tell you?
Yeah, I know. I've told that before.
Over 400. That is what is wrong with West Ham. Nothing has changed apart from the fact that this Arsenal was sharper than the last Arsenal that we faced, because it's getting into the business end of the season. Teams are getting sharper. They're taking their chances. We are the same submissive shit team we have been all year. Yeah. When we've won games, Gary, who's been our man of the match?
Yeah, Areola. Yeah, I'll just disagree with you.
So that is what's gone wrong. What's gone wrong is it's wrong. What we're doing is wrong.
See, basically, Gal, sorry, mate. Basically, that is what my answer would be, same as Nick's to a point. When I'll say what has gone wrong is that other teams now are literally being more clinical and finding that that is not a surprise. That our games, we're getting the results that our games deserve now, right? So if you look at even when we beat Spurs 2-1, that should have been like Arsenal today. The difference was they didn't take their chances, but Arsenal did.
But Mickey, in that month, Mickey, we kept 4 clean sheets in a row. I know.
They weren't clinical. Other teams weren't clinical. They were still battering us. They were still battering our defence and everything. It's just that you can't defend like that for like 90 minutes and hope to get away with it. Now we're seeing.
I'll tell you another thing, Nicky. We're all saying about priorities of left midfielder and centre forward, but I tell you what, up alongside that, it's our centre backs. We've just got to sort this out. Aguirre's not good enough. Zuma's gone. Mavropanos, I've got me doubts. The best defender at the club is Obama.
But Gary, again.
And he's
Gary, again, I'm going to go back to Pablo Fornals, who's just left the club. He's got a new lease of life. Look, every player, basically what it is, we don't have the personnel now. Now we don't. So we don't have the personnel to play the way that David Moyes wants to play. It's as simple as that. You're saying these players are not good enough. They're not good enough. They're not good enough for what David Moyes wants to do. You've got no fucking clue what Aguero will be like, or Mavropanos, or all of these players. If we go out and we get a manager that plays a progressive style, you don't know. It's all very well us sort of getting desperate and looking at players and going, oh, no, he's made that mistake. He's shit. He's got to go. They're making mistakes because we're playing away, which is inviting tons and tons and tons of pressure onto a defence, and that is why we're making mistake after mistake. It is a pathetic, moronic way to play football.
not replace Dawson, and that's no nonsense centre back. We've got 4 centre backs here, and the best combination has been Mavropanos on Bonner to go by statistics.
Yeah.
But Aguerd is like, I think Aguerd would be better off at left back than centre half, to be honest. Yeah, but he's a liability now. I don't think he wants to be here.
I mean, Alex Noodle just said now. Look how Bowen started at the start of the season. We are fucking ruining Bowen, ruining him.
We are.
He ain't a striker. He never will be.
We're ruining him.
You can't play him through the middle. He's up against 2 big centre halves today. And as much as the Antonio knockers saying things, we could have Antonio here today because he at least would have put himself about.
He wouldn't have done anything either, though, Gary. He wouldn't have done anything either, right? You had 2 very, very competent centre halves, fast, powerful, strong, tall. They had all the attributes. When Bowen got that sort of one-on-one, the defender just caught him and stopped him. Right? It was just it was easy, wasn't it?
Also, Gary, I'm just going to interrupt you quickly, right? Everyone, I know what you're all going to say, but I've reached out to Sean before this. We had a little bit of an exchange, and I've said to him, I said, I don't want no propaganda or no bollocks tonight. I said, but if you do have any news, I said anything. I said I don't want anything the same nonsense. We can't. I said, but if you've got any concrete news, please contact me. So he's trying to find out. He's trying to find out. He gets it. He said we're all. He said himself. He said we're all fucking frustrated now. So
I don't see how Moyes can get by this. Come back from this. Really, this is too damaging. So the thing is, the transfer window. We're all known for months now. All of us are known. Apart from the left-sided thing in the striker, which we can get away with that. You get Antonio, get Paqueta back on the left. We're back. We're for Christmas. It's the defence. It's right as well. It's the centre backs. Why didn't they go and get a centre back in the window? We all know we're weak there. We're not. A couple of years ago, we were so robust at centre back. You had Dawson in there. You had Zuma. He's playing a lot better than he is now. But Aguerd, Nick, I know what you're saying about Aguerd. He doesn't suit our system. Fair enough. Another club, he might look good. But the fact is, he's playing for us.
Yeah,
and he
very
ain't
good defender.
There.
He ain't a very good defender in my view.
The bottom alongside him as well. Definitely. He does. But,
I don't know. I don't have any answers now because, we all have the answer. The answer is get rid of Moyes, but that's not an option. It seems like David Moyes is here, so I don't have any answers anymore. I don't. Gary, let's put it in perspective. What David did today. Let's put it in perspective, right? He played exactly the same lineup that lost against Man United 3-0. Man United are a worse team. He played exactly the same lineup against a better team and expected a different result. Work that out. Work it out.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, any other manager, like Gonzo said earlier, or Gio, I think it's Gio, one of them, I forget who it was, but he said, like, at 1-0, you could see what was going to happen. They were just totally dominant, and you don't change it. You just sit there and wait for it to get worse. That's even the biggest Moyes fans. He's not very reactionary. He doesn't react to things, doesn't change it.
You
see it ain't working.
It doesn't, and look, we all saw today, sadly, and it was sad to fucking see as well. We all saw the player that we lost today as well. In Declan Rice, unfortunately, 2 assists, a great goal, a worldy goal.
Nick, you said earlier, he said in the show a couple of weeks ago, when we beat Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, that was a totally different sort of thing to the league game we beat them away. But in the Carabao Cup game, he got in our faces, didn't we?
We went for him. We went for him in that Carabao Cup game. And let's make no bones about it, right? We were lucky away to Arsenal. We were lucky we caught Arsenal on a really bad day.
I had a great day away at Arsenal, by the way. I mean, like I say, I was at that game. It was wonderful. But it is. We ride our luck all the time. We all season we've been riding our luck.
I'll tell you what though. At half time, you guys showed the tens of thousands leaving the ground. I think that's been a good thing in a way because that will make Sullivan look at that big Christ.
Well, no.
You might put that 1 or 2 leaving. It was like tens of thousands.
No. We said earlier on the one thing that David Sullivan really doesn't like is the attention of the mainstream media in a negative sense. He don't give a shit about what West Ham fans think.
He doesn't.
We're just a noisy minority. Whenever that's what he'll say. But what he does care about is being embarrassed on fucking national TV. And you know what? Being beat 6-0 and your fans leaving en masse after a half of football, that is fucking embarrassing. And I'm sorry, anyone that thinks that this is acceptable now, you're all entitled to your opinions. But my opinion is if you still think this is acceptable and we can't do better than that, you need your fucking head testing. As far as
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Terrible.
People can think what they want.
Thanks,
Bye,
mate.
Gary.
Thanks, mate. Pew, pew.
You can get away with playing this way if you're winning games, but once once you're not winning games and getting beaten like this, then you've got nothing, have you? You know, and but think, what do you do now, lads? If you get rid of Moyes tomorrow, what do you do? Do you put Heitinga in charge?
No,
Yeah, do that. I don't care. Do that. Do Heitinga with Nolan, right? Don't matter, does it? Just fucking just get him out.
We're not
Just
getting relegated at this point.
just
So
bomb him out.
I just think at this point, if you take him out of the equation, just rely on your caretaker team. You know, even fucking promote fucking Kevin Keane to run them or whatever. Just do that. Maybe make it a collective caretaker team, not just one person. You know, run it until the end of the season, and then make your permanent appointment in the summer. Do it properly. Don't rush. Don't panic, because we don't need to panic. We're not getting relegated. But what you do need to panic about is what this is damaging to a lot of West Ham fans. And you know what, people, this is where it will flip on. And I can't forgive Sullivan for this, because he is refusing to act. And the longer he keeps him here, the more it is displaying he's complete disdain for what the fans watch. Little wanker.
Nick, I've got to say, right, because Sullivan kept him here last year, right, he put that down as a master stroke, right, a master stroke in keeping your nerve. It wasn't a master stroke. You could have bought any decent manager in. He probably would have won that cup much easier than fucking Moyes did. Last minute, right? It wasn't a master stroke.
It was Man City in the fucking in the Europa League.
Yeah, we nearly got relegated, and the fucker pulled a master stroke by keeping him here. Pat yourself on the back, you little twat, right? Brilliant. What a master stroke. Now the chickens are coming home to roost. We said all along the fixtures in the first half of the season were kind. We played a lot of those teams in exactly the right way. We said we were worried about the second half of the season, apart from Mickey, who predicted a win every week. But we predicted, when you go through those fixtures, you're thinking, fuck me, these ain't easy. These ain't easy. I mean, you ain't got Man United at home. You ain't going to roll them over. You got them away. You ain't got Sheffield United at home, so you roll them over. You got them away, right? All these things are a whole lot more difficult. And the games we've got coming up, there's only one that I could pick out that we should quite easily win, and that's at home to Burnley.
Even that's no guarantee.
They'll be fighting for relegation. Burnley won't be fucking easy either. No one easy. And obviously, you listen to Moyes' pre-game interview, and every game, every team, he's fucking bang on it. Do you know what I mean? They're an hard team to beat and all these bollocks. We should be beating these teams.
No, Mickey. Sorry, not Mickey. Gary, things have been happening behind the scenes with the players the whole way through. That's why there's been a mass fucking exodus. So what we've done is we've got rid of all of the Moyes dissenters, barring Aguirre, who ex-employee actually confirmed was one of the biggest voices against the style of football, because he knows this don't suit him and it exploits him. So he was one of the biggest. I didn't know that. But X confirmed that. That's why we've been trying to get rid of him, but we've had to keep him in this window. So he's the only one left. But now what he's done is we've got rid of Ben Rama, we've got rid of Fornals, we've got rid of all these players. Now he's gone out creating new players that are going to fucking dislike him. Players like Danny Ings, who must be thinking, after the performance that he pulled off in the 10, what the actual fuck? He's going to have more players. The geezer, I think the geezer I think he must just enjoy I think he's the type of person he needs to be beating someone in the squad environment, to show his fucking superiority.
He does. I think he does, actually. I think he uses that to show his power.
I reckon so.
This is a left side problem, though. Like, we've got let Fornals and Ben Rama go, and we've got Cornet, he's the only one there who can play, and still ain't played him. But what is the point? I just don't get it at all. He's so stubborn. He just does things.
He's not stubborn, Gary. He's not stubborn. He's fucking useless.
Call it how it is. Call it how it is. He's fucking useless. He's not very good, right? This geezer belongs in some, he belongs in as a disaster recovery manager, as Nick called him, right? Someone to get you out of a hole by playing bullshit football. But to take you on and develop you, he had a real lucky break last year with that cup win. Right. That raised his profile.
One second, Gary. I'm just going to put this up on the screen. Now, this is Nigel Khan's 6'2" website, and they've been running the season barometer. So this doesn't include today's game. But basically, even their barometer shows you that we all of the fixtures compared to the ones that we struggled in last year, our fixtures this year fell very favourably for us. So in terms of home ties versus away ties. So even when we were sitting in 6th, we weren't in the bright category. We were still targeting 46 points because on the half season mark, we were still only forecasted to get about 15 points from the remaining games based on our results in those corresponding fixtures last season. So, and bearing in mind, we've shithoused a lot of the wins that we got there. So that's what I mean. It's very, very, what's the word? Deceiving. The 6th place thing was very fucking deceiving. Not just because we were lucky and we were shithousing wins. It's because of the way those fixtures fucking fell.
Well, people saying, "Oh, we're fighting for 6th place. We're fighting for 6th place, right?" We were never fighting for 6th place. The second half of the season, right? This drop was going to come down. The people that were saying it, hold on, Gary, hold on. The people that were saying this were just, I don't know what they were thinking, saying, "Oh, you know, we need to keep in touch with top 6. We ain't going to end up there." So why were they even saying it? It was so obviously not going to happen.
No, I mean, like. Now we've got to if Moyes does go, I suppose you can draw a line.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Hold on, I've got to find it again there. Sorry, Gal.
I'm just going to say,
Gary, mate, it's your last point because we've got to get on to the next caller. Sorry, mate.
Right, I was just going to say, if we do get Moyes goes, we've got to get Kudus in the number 10 role and get back next week. Hopefully, maybe that will lift the team a little bit. You know.
Yeah,
Paqueta's got to come back from injury, fully fit and ready to set up a load of chances, right?
Yeah, we're a one-man team, 500 million, and we're a one-man fucking team. Because let's have it straight, we was only missing one player today. I saw it on Gio's review earlier on. He said Antonio and Paqueta are out, but there ain't a chance in hell they both get picked and he drops one of his central midfielders. Never going to happen. He ain't playing Kudus left, Bowen right, Antonio up front and Paqueta behind them, and just have he ain't going to drop James Ward-Prowse and Phillips or Souček. That ain't going to happen. So we're missing one player.
He's playing as a striker now, so therefore that means he's a striker. So if Antonio comes in, one of them, him or Kudus, goes out. I'm thinking Kudus and Bowen goes back on the right. That's what happened.
I mean, we all hate the Antonio podcast, right? Did you see him when he was on Sky the other day, where he said he's not allowed to shoot outside the box anymore?
It was amazing.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
Fuck.
I know. I mean, the thing with Elton, if we get rid of Moyes and bring the caretaker manager in, obviously we don't know he's worth thinking, do we?
I don't.
Will he do a completely
Gary, we don't care at this point. I think solve one problem at a time. The caretaker team won't be a problem. It will either work or it won't. We won't get the arsehole too much with the caretaker team. If they say we're going to appoint the manager in the summer, just let it ride out. The anger with the manager will be gone. We can just focus on the fucking team.
Yep.
I think we're all had enough now, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, lads.
All right, lovely. Cheers for that, Gary.
Cheers, Gal. Come on, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry. Cheers, Gal. Hang on.
Fucking hell. I don't know. Look, anyone who's still defending him, or they're only pretending if they're defending him, right? They're making it up. They're doing it because they've entrenched themselves in that position, and so they've got to defend that position. That's all they're doing.
Hello, is that Nolly?
Yeah, are you on at the moment?
We're on.
Yeah.
Rephrase that. You're on at the moment.
Hi, Nolly.
What time did the show start? It's normally later than this.
No, it's 8 o'clock. Moved it to 8 now. Moved it to 8.
You ain't been watching us, have you, Nolly?
No, we're all right, mate. And Nolly, C-bomb away, mate. I don't give a fuck tonight. Say what you want.
Oh, mate, I wouldn't. I'm just so disillusioned. I mean, to be honest with you, like, if you look at the results, we've had 2 5-0 drubbings this season.
Yeah.
And we've been fucking lucky with a lot of the results that we've had. Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal, Tottenham. But it's come home to roost now. We were absolutely. I mean, let's have it right. They could have got in the double figures if they pushed it today.
They could have easily.
And I've never seen us surrender like that. It was fucking awful.
I would say it was worse than a surrender. It was ridiculous. That's 6-0 flat. 6-0 flattered us. It flattered us.
I know.
Yeah.
How can you play Ben Johnson? And I like Ben Johnson. How can you play him left wing when you've got Cornet sitting on the bench?
Because he ain't got a bottle to drop Soufal. He needs to get Johnson in the team because he's been asked to. he ain't got a bottle to drop Soufal.
Yeah,
No,
and
but-
again, Soucek's playing a fucking game. Why is he playing a game? Is he his fucking son-in-law or something like that? It just drives me fucking mad. That he's got to go, mate. He's got to go.
He's in the side because he's tall. That's all. He's tall and he's athletic and he runs around a lot. And he thinks Moyes' one fucking plan A is to pack the defence, pack the midfield, win a corner, win a free kick, get on the end of a set piece. That is his game plan. The only game plan other than that is a little bit of individual. Yeah, go on.
He's just been found out, though, Gal, hasn't he?
Of course he has. Of course he has. Yeah, yeah. Over and over again. But it still won't make him change.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you now. I don't think we're going to get fuck all at Forest either.
I don't either. I think we're going to get beat. And I'd just stand for a win there.
Mate, the only good thing to come from this, right, is if he gets the fucking tin tag.
Yeah.
Because he is a... I ain't going to say it, but you know what I mean.
Say it,
please.
Say it, please say it.
Because he is.
All right, let's imagine, right, that David Moyes was a female, right? So that thing between his legs is a vagina,
Yeah.
right? Everything else around it is a cunt.
Yeah.
He actually fucking is though.
He
Honestly,
really is a cunt. He's just a cunt.
I'm fed up with it. I'm so, and that's the thing. It's actually it's demoralising me now because we know how this goes. Nolly, we saw it last time. We've got 3 winnable fixtures coming up now. You know, it'd have to be severely something wrong with him to not get something out of the next 3. We've got Nottingham Forest, Brentford. We've got Nottingham Forest, Brentford, and Burnley next. He would have to get something out of them, but when he does, it could scrape a win, and this clock gets reset. I've still got people saying this now. Why are people complaining? We're 2 points off sticks. Get fucked. I'm sorry, I've had enough.
We're 2 points off the 6, right? We were right before we played United. We were fucking 6.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm sick of the geezer. Honestly, I am.
You know, one of the most sickening things today, Nolly, one of the most sickening things today, because he said in the Q&A earlier in the week that players now have to reach the grand old age of 21 before they're ready to play in the Premier League, right? Yeah. Kids on the bench, good kids on the bench. We're 6-0 down. We're 6-0 down. What better time to just let the kids have a run out?
But what does that say, Nolly, to all of the good, exciting youth players that we've got at the moment? What does that say to them? Like Mabama, you know, we want to get but we want to get Mabama to sign a deal, and he's just heard that.
We do.
Oh, he's just heard that.
Another 2 years, David. Sorry, mate.
Can you imagine, right? Joe Cole on the bench. If Joe Cole, right, had been with us under Moyes' tenureship,
sorry,
what do you think would have happened? It just
Joey Cole, he would have been stuck out on the left wing and then sold.
He wouldn't have played, would he?
Probably not. It's too small.
Too young.
How many kids did we have in that team at that time? Young. What did we have? We at that time you had like players like Johnson, you had Lampard, you had Rio, you had Carrick, you had all these fucking players in that team. Lampard, you know.
Mate.
Oh,
I just honestly, I'm
fuck off.
Yeah, and the other thing is this, right? Think about it now. End of the season, Kudos, Paqueta, even Alvarez, right? They're thinking to themselves, and Bowen as well. And I loved it, but I don't blame them. I don't blame
Bowen. I don't care what anyone. I don't care what anyone says. Bowen must be thinking, "What the fuck was I thinking signing a 7-year contract at this point?"
Yeah.
Now he's been stuck up front on his own, and we're ruining that player. He ain't no striker.
I agree. Look at today's game.
On the right or out on the left.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nolly. Look at today's game. He kept on running into the midfield to get the ball, where it should have been James Ward-Prowse's and Soucek's job, but they done fuck all. They was all round.
They don't work. They don't work.
I am sorry. I've always thought this about Ward-Prowse. That's why I didn't want him here. I've always said it. He's got a great right foot. He's got a great set piece. He can score goals. He can create, but he is a limp dick. I'm sorry, and you can't have a limp dick in midfield.
Has he put one in for us yet? Has he put one of them fucking fantastic? No, he fucking ain't.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I'm sick to fucking Devon, and I fucking hate Arsenal as well. And I'm going to get my fucking nose rubbed in it when I get into work tomorrow.
Like you just said, the only good that can come out of it is they could have done us a favour if he ends up going. That's the only thing that could come out of it, you know. But if he don't, then this is just another embarrassment to add to the 5-0 absolute surrender. That was a surrender to Liverpool. You know, bowing out of the cup. They're the Liverpool B team, mind. It weren't their A team. Liverpool B team.
I know.
Fulham. 5-0 Fulham. We got battered by Villa.
Yeah.
And if you look at the picture, right? Can you say Tim Stighton, right, who has been brilliant for us? I think his signings have been superb. Can't knock it.
I just don't know it pissed him off.
Mavropanos as well, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I like Mavropanos. I like him.
Yeah,
I know he's made a few mistakes. But the thing is, mate, what defender in this system ain't going to make mistakes? Seriously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that is the way it is. Yeah.
You cannot soak up all that pressure, right, and not concede or make a mistake. It's nigh on impossible. We did it at Arsenal, we did it at Tottenham, but rare. But that's fucking. I can't say the fucking word.
Say it. I don't care.
Honestly. No, because it's
mate. We've been swearing all night. Honestly, it's fine.
It's giving everyone a smile.
Right. No, because it's sort of alienating it, but it's just it's generic thing, right? It's just like if someone called me a little cunt, right, I'd accept it.
Yeah.
But that your cunt is fucking driving me mad. We bought. I told you before. We built a wall to keep him out. Right.
Yeah.
He's fucking got over it. I want to drive him back, and I love Scottish people in general, but not that one.
I do. I love Scottish people. He is giving them a bad name. He is.
Where's McMikey tonight? Where's McMikey?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
When you think of McAvenny and Ray Stewart and all the great players that we've had in Scotland,
proper Scottish.
I hope he ain't been fucking blocked. No, he won't. Mikey wouldn't have been blocked.
Again, disclaimer: nothing wrong with being God Squad. But when he used to play for a team, there's this Guardian article where him and 2 other players used to sit around reading passages from the Bible. And this hard-nosed defender came up to him one day. He said, "What fucking part of Glasgow are you from? Why aren't you fucking getting the ump and getting yourself rolled up and going there and kicking lumps out of people? You're sitting there reading the Bible."
I'll tell you what, I feel like I need Jesus every time we go on the pitch. Well, it's ridiculous. It is it's terrible.
Honestly, I can just. I know what's going to happen. We ain't getting relegated because we did a lot of good. We did a lot of good work at the start.
Mikey.
Yeah. But we did good work. We ain't got. There's worse teams than us. Right?
No,
we'll stay.
There are worse teams than us because of the individuals that we've got. But I will ask you a question, Nolly.
Yeah.
Does anyone play worse football than us? As in worse football?
No.
Not that worse. Boring.
Literally nobody.
Boring.
I know.
There ain't one team in the league, Nolly, that plays worse football than us. Not one. Yeah.
But if you listen to all the commentators and that, they are. We just always have an off day whenever they're fucking.
Which is every week at the moment.
Yeah. And to sort of rub it in even more, right? I mean, Gary's done a piece on David Moyes and the way that he kind of self promotes himself and everything else. Thank you very much, Pessa.
Thanks, Peter.
But yeah, so he's done a piece on the way David Moyes kind of self promotes himself, and he can't go to, especially in bad times, he can't go a press conference without mentioning all of his achievements and everything else. But today, listen, Molly, at the end of today's press conference, I asked him about the fans. He said, 5 months ago, I gave West Ham their best moment ever. That's what he said. He gave us their best moment ever, and he said, I'll probably give them their best 3 years ever as well. That's
little promotion. Go and watch. Yeah, go and watch the Europe before Moyes 7-minute VR made over 6 hours. 6 hours work over at Claret and Booze Reserves. You'll like that.
But yeah, Gal. Listen, I can remember watching us going to Upton Park and watching us. When Brooking was playing, when Lampard was playing.
All on that video. It's all on that video, Nolly. You'll love it.
And my all-time favourite for me personally was McAvenny. I loved him.
Yeah.
The boys of '86. What a fucking team we were.
Amazing.
And I'm seeing this prick ruin our fucking. Did anyone hear the geezer on TalkSport the other week sticking it on fucking not Jordan? Who's the other one that's with him?
Danny Murphy.
Cheers, man.
No, Jordan and White in it.
Jim White.
He's on him. he stuck him on it about, oh, well, you're Sullivan's mate, aren't you? He did not fucking like it one bit.
No, well,
Not one bit
apparently,
did he like it.
apparently tonight, very unusually, John mentioned it further up in the chat, mentioned it up in the chat. He said Perry Groves was completely open and honest tonight, and he actually said it how it is. He said he's the first one to do it on TalkSport. I do hope the worm is turning. I really do, because like I said to you, if you listen to all of the pundits, Alan Smith throughout that game, you know, Merson and Keane afterwards, it makes me sick. And you know the reason they're doing that, right? The reason they're doing it is because they still see us as little old West Ham, and we should be grateful. We should not dream for more, right?
No,
but
when you think that last year, right, when fucking Villa had Gerrard, right, they were fucking shite, right? Yes. Change of
they've overtaken us, mate.
Look at them now. Top five. That should be us. We've got, we need a few more, but we've got some world-class players.
I know, mate.
It makes me sick.
There's one time, Nolly. There's one time, Nolly. There's one thing that kicked me off with all this fucking shit, and it's when I really noticed it. When he chucked that game against Liverpool, he was under pressure from a load of Scouse journalists in the press room afterwards. They were asking proper questions, right? And he turned on them. He said, "You know, would you expect West Ham to win a European trophy?" Right, and who in the room would expect West Ham to win a European trophy? And the journos were like uncomfortable. They're looking down at their pads. No one would fucking say anything, right? Why didn't someone say, "Well, I've done it before, Dave"?
He's doing us a favour.
Yeah, but it's demeaning everything. And do you know what? I think there is a portion of our fans, obviously, that know nothing about our fucking history or anything like that. And that's brilliant. He's playing to the gallery. That's what he's doing. And there are a portion of fans, and do you know what? And it makes me sick. These are the fans that really fuck me off when they go the West Ham way. What's that? Do you know what that is? Do you know what he's doing there, David Moyes, when he says stuff like that? It's the equivalent of Sam Allardyce cupping his ear to the West Ham fans. It's the same fucking thing. It's saying that West Ham were nothing before the great David Moyes.
Yeah. And look,
honestly, if I still had my eyes in, and I still had my sniper badge, I'd fucking do it. With an air pellet.
With an air pellet. Just in the arse. Shoot
in the arse several times. But as a West Ham fan, right? What made you a West Ham fan in the first place, right? You know the history. Every West Ham fan worth their salt knows the history of West Ham, what we've done, when we've done it, whether you were around or not. You know the history, the big moments, right? Now, if you're supporting him in saying things like that, you're no West Ham fan, because you are also just dismissing our history, our rich history. You're throwing it in the bin and saying that's where he's fucking right.
We was always known, all right, we didn't win this, we didn't win that, right? We was always known as a good football inside.
Yeah.
And we have respect for that because we used to play good football.
Yeah.
Now, fucking hell, it's painful to watch.
It really is.
It just is. It's not the club that I fucking love.
But the thing is, Nolly, sorry to interrupt, but what it is, right? You're never ever going to extract that from West Ham. That's always going to be a massive part of us, right? It's always going to be a massive part of us.
He's doing his best, though, him and Sullivan.
Yeah, but he is. But you know what? And that's why they labelled it. Apparently, they've labelled it internally West Ham Way 2.0. They want this to become the West Ham way. That's what it is. Well, we ain't never accepting that, Sullivan, you little fuck.
Sullivan, no chance. And that fucking overlarge Greyhound Stadium that they stuck us in, it breaks my fucking arm.
I know. I think I'd rather a night of fucking. I would literally rather a night of fucking Walthamstow Dogs, even though it's gone now. Romford Dogs.
Think about this for a moment.
It's gone now, mate. I think.
Nolly, I just want to put a question out to the audience, like how this would make you feel, or if you'd even be a West Ham supporter at all, right? Think about this for a moment. Imagine the Conference League was the first trophy and the only trophy we had ever won. We've never done anything else in the past. You know what we would be? We would be Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we'd be.
I know.
We're bigger than that.
Listen.
We're bigger than fucking Moyes. I'm telling you that much.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just... I can remember sitting in front of the telly crying when Alan Taylor got them 2 goals against Fulham. I was that fucking happy.
Yeah.
I can remember being put on a charge because I was supposed to be patrolling the fucking perimeter of the barracks when we beat fucking Arsenal. Right, and I was in the guardhouse watching us turn Arsenal over. That worked no fun. I'll tell you, I had 48 hours running up and down the guardhouse with what we used to call a bumper. Fucking hell, it nearly killed me. But it was worth it.
Moy's in the river.
When we done Fiorentina, mate, I got fucking so pissed.
That's brilliant.
It's the mother-in-law. Well, one of the ex-mothers, everyone, and that's saying fucking something. So yeah, you know, I love us. I'm claret and blue all over, but this cunt is killing us.
He's killing us.
And Arsenal, 6-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah,
fucking what a team to lose to. Them and fucking Spurs or Millwall. It's the worst team to lose to.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like we've said, we're all Sullivan out. I think by default, all West Ham fans want Sullivan gone. We all want him gone. But don't buy into all this shit at the moment, which is basically designed to detract attention away from David Moyes, which is focus all your attention on Sullivan now. We all hate Sullivan.
I'm fully aware of it.
Let's get rid of this fucker.
Yeah, I listen to them pricks saying, "Oh well, West Ham have done this, that, and then won a couple." And I'm thinking to myself, "You don't go, you don't watch us."
I know.
Do you know?
And
it just fucking winds me up. And I don't
so happy. Yeah.
I love West Ham, but how lucky we've been this year in certain results. Because if the luck hadn't gone our way, Tottenham, Spurs, Chelsea, fucking Brighton, we'd have been down at the bottom.
Yes, we would.
He's a fucking lucky cunt.
He's that.
He's my friend.
Absolutely.
No, he is though. He is. Anyway, Nolly, that was absolutely a fucking brilliant call, mate. I love you. Cheers, Nolly.
Listen, guys, I've been around for a while because obviously I'm just getting into a new job now.
No worries, mate.
And it is.
Is it legal? Is it legal? Is it a legal job?
It's a professional assassin. Guess who's getting it first?
You taking any employees on? I'll have some of that.
Yeah. trainee Mickey.
One take off, Sam.
Yeah.
The only problem is, Nolly, when I start shooting, I go pew pew
pew. Top man. Anyway, cheers, Nolly. You my spirits, mate. Speak to you soon.
Yeah.
You know what?
Chin up.
Time, mate.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
That actually has lifted my spirit. That was a lovely.
Yeah, he cheers me. He cheers us up every time, Nolly, doesn't he? He's a brilliant caller.
Say here, right? Like Moyes has no knowledge of the club, and he sort of disrespects the history. Now, the way I see it, Moyes thinks that he creates the history.
Yeah.
With West Ham. So anything before him, he was like kind of lucky or whatever. But this was the main. Having the Europe win was bigger than anything else. He creates the history in his head. Like that's how I see him. He's mental. If we have a bad game, it's the player's fault. If he's good, it's all down to him.
He says, when I arrived, West Ham were miles away from Europe. Well, sorry, mate. We were in Europe like 2 years earlier. I mean, we didn't do very well, but we were in 2 years earlier. Sorry, or 3 years, whatever it was. You know, it's not like we haven't been in Europe. We we've been shit in Europe, but we've been in Europe occasionally. Harry Redknapp,
I just fucking hate him. I want him to.
I do as well. It's got to that point. I cannot stand the bloke. I hate liars.
It didn't need to be like this. You know what? If it had gone after Prague, it'd have bailed out a hero. We would have all just.
He might have even got a statue.
We wouldn't have cared. But he's a stubborn bastard. He won't walk away from money, and he's
an arsehole.
And even if every single if every single West Ham fan absolutely hated him vocally, he still wouldn't walk away. He would sign a new contract. He'd stay here.
He'd say things one-to-one like he did today in the quiet little press room.
He wouldn't walk away. In the first place, no manager really walks away no more. No one really walks away. There's too much money in it, so they don't walk away.
Time for the Moyes out flag.
So what I'm saying is that...
Well,
1 second, Mick. Well, apparently, massive censorship over at the London Stadium. You don't get banners in. They won't
be in my pants. No,
but apparently they won't let you in with a banner, because I spoke to the guy with the Moyes out thing, and he basically was refused entry. And I spoke to other people that tried to get them in today, and they weren't allowed. They basically say, no, you can't come in with that. That's what that security check's there for, basically. But away, you will see Moyes out banners at the away game.
Free speech then. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Go on, Mick. Sorry, mate. Sorry I interrupted you, mate.
No, it's all right. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry.
It's all right. Good.
That was sickening last year. Let me just recount what happened last year at Fulham, right? You know when we won 1-0, right?
Yeah.
And there was a single solitary Moyes out banner, and he didn't even get any grief from the crowd. When he won at the end. Oh, go on.
Oh, hang on. Right. Hello, Tommy.
Evening, chaps. How are you?
Hey,
Tommy, brilliant. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
Mate, long time. How are you?
Good. Yeah, it's been too long.
It has been.
So I said, yeah, I'll give a call in and give my opinion. Seems like a good time.
It does.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time.
No time better than this.
What was your take on that fucking disaster class today, mate?
That was a disgrace. This is a big London derby against a rival at home. Packed house. Fans are really up for it. You want to see us come in, and it's a losable game. Look, even if we play really well, let's be honest. Arsenal are a very good side.
It's how you lose, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but what you cannot do is what we saw today. I mean, there's absolutely no excuse for that. Absolutely no excuse. And looking at it today, I don't know what you guys think about this. Just, it's not really to do with this particular game as such, but it just dawned on me today. You know, if Moyes stays, he's going to turn Kudus into Fornells, don't you?
Yeah, mate, he's going to ruin him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to ruin him, 100%. He's spending more time defending than he is attacking. Already doing that.
Yeah, he's already taken an unbelievable attacking talent in Kudus and turning him into another one of his fucking cart horses. And I can't watch it happen again. Not with Kudus. No. I mean, as good as Fornells was when he arrived and as much potential he has. I mean, Kudus, we've seen already this season, before he started being moised, was sensational. And now you're seeing what's happening. Was that Man United last week, Arsenal again today, and he's just going to fucking ruin every talented player that he touches.
Yep.
And we cannot give this guy a new contract.
But even with, look, he's not my favourite player. Everyone knows that. I'm not a fan of James Ward-Prowse, but he was a revelation when he came in, and he's fucked him. He's
for one game.
A couple of games. He was good for a couple of games, but he's been useless ever since.
How good was the player when he came in?
I know.
He's just going to ruin more of these players. I mean, we're spending a lot of money on these players, and these players have got talent. They've got ability, and the worry for me is if this fucking prick gets a new contract, it's over for us. I mean, you can keep chucking money at it all the time. You can have someone like Steiden with an ability to highlight talent and get them in the door. What's the point if you're handing them over to Moyes? He gets them on the training ground. He turns them all into fucking plodders.
I'll be honest. I mean, there's a lot of talk around will start and stay if can hear myself. If that it will start and stay if David Moyes does. And you know what? There'll be a part of me that would be disappointed in starting if he did. If Moyes got his contract, because that to me would say you're not really the person that I thought you were. Yeah. If he did, because then it just shows that you're here for the money. You're just here to basically go and find out. You're here as a recruitment person. You're not what I thought you were. You're not the director of football. You're just part of the team. So even with the likes of Steiden, and do you know what? I'm going to say it as well. Even the likes of Noble, if Noble was to fucking stick around and be part of this.
Especially because Noble's been in with the parents and everything, right?
I'd even lose a bit of respect for him.
Yeah.
Because I just think I think you're all culpable in this situation. If you stand there and you do fuck all, probably more so Noble, because he's got a connection to the club. Steiden's here for the paycheck and his CV. But I just think that I wouldn't want to be connected with this at all. Would you, Tommy?
No, absolutely not, because it makes your job pointless in the end. Because look, if Moyes is going to stay, you may as well save the money on Steiden and just let Sullivan and Moyes keep buying the fucking players. They may as well buy players who were shit at the beginning. Because Moyes is just going to make him shit in the long run anyway, and we're going to end up losing a load of money. I mean, he's done it time and time again. No one's going to tell me that Haller and Scamacca are no good.
Anderson.
They're class when you see him. Ella got like he was like top scorer in the Champions League and that, wasn't he?
So
When he
many
left
attacking players, he's just flushed out the club because he doesn't want them.
It's just shit. I see something on Instagram reels and that, and they were showing you some of Ala's goals for us.
Yeah.
Some of them are crackers.
Oh, mate, look, these are good players, and this shows you the limitations of the man. I mean, well, like Haller, I think when Moyes first came in, and we always go back to it. It was when it was against Bournemouth when he played a 4-4-2. I think it was a 4-4-2, and he had Antonio and Haller up front. We was fucking brilliant. We battered Bournemouth, right?
Yeah, we did.
Really
good.
That
was a one-off.
It was a one-off, and people talk about the 6th place finish as well. And do you know what? I will say, I'll hold my hands up. That lockdown season when we came 6th, when Lingard came in, we were very, very good. But you know something? That was probably a 1/5 David Moyes team. That was a 1/5 David Moyes team. Ever since then, he's flushed out players. He's brought his own players in. He's completely and utterly got his own influence and his fingerprints all over this squad now. And this is the end fucking result. It's ugly as shit.
It would have been uglier. He would have got. If we wouldn't have had Kudus or Alvarez, we'd have had fucking Scott McTominay and Harry Maguire. Imagine that.
I know. But Tommy, going back to this now. I mean, it is getting exhausting. I know. Look. Everyone talks about. So there isn't a West Ham fan that doesn't want Sullivan out. I've said it so many times tonight, but I do feel. I am sorry. We all point to Sullivan. I hate him. He's the reason he's here. But the fact of the matter is, I can't help but think that the people that are coming out there at the moment that are going, stop looking at Moyes, look at Sullivan. I am sorry. That is letting Moyes off the hook at the moment. Because Sullivan ain't picking that team. Sullivan ain't fucking doing this. He is the reason that Moyes is here. He's ultimately culpable. But at the same time, mate, I think you've got to focus on the problem at hand. And for me, the problem at hand is David Moyes. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I'm no fan of Sullivan, and I can't wait until he sells up the club. Yeah. But to like you say, to take all the pressure off of Moyes by just blaming Sullivan.
Yeah.
Whatever you think about Sullivan, and my opinion of him is not a high one. No. And I think that's probably true of the vast majority of the fan base.
Absolutely.
But what you cannot say is that he has not backed Moyes to the hilt.
Spent a fortune.
He has spent a lot of money in transfer windows. Okay, the January windows have been a bit hit and miss, but certainly in the summer transfer windows, I mean, he has spent a lot of money on a lot of very good players to build a squad that David Moyes wanted. David Moyes has had really a hell of a lot of say in which players come in and which players don't. He's had all the say, really. We know for a fact no player comes through the door without Moyes signing off on it.
No, that was part of his,
these are all
part of his last contract.
Yeah.
And I'll just put this up on the screen. I don't know whether anyone saw it earlier on. I'm assuming most people saw my mad rant. But the top 8 clubs, this is over the last 5 years, right? But this doesn't really tell the full story. But in the last 5 years, 573 million we've spent in money. So that's euros. But that's basically that's the last 4 years. So it's about 500 million that David Moyes has spent on players. That's the 8th most, right? And if you look at the if you look at the wage expenditure, I said this earlier on as well. We currently have the 7th highest wage bill. But Tommy, right, listen to this. We have the 7th highest wage bill. We have the smallest squad in the Premier League and the oldest. How can we have the 7th highest when we have the oldest and the thinnest squad and the smallest squad? How does that add up? We've got to have another massive rebuild in the summer. How has he done such an amazing job? So they have backed him. They've spent money, but they've fucking spent it poorly, haven't they?
Yeah, it's mismanagement, pure and simple. It's a club that has no kind of vision for the future, a club that's not well run. They kept talking about, we're bringing Stoyton in because we want to do things a bit more like Brentford and Brighton do it. And then they cut fucking Tim Stoyton off at the knees in January.
Oh, mate. Yeah,
he wants to bring in a player.
And that is a worry, isn't it? Because I heard you talk about that. Sorry to interrupt. And I do actually believe it. I don't blame Moyes for the Ibrahim deal. I blame Sullivan for that. And that is a worry because in the situation that we're in now, where he might have had it in his mind, Sullivan, I'm going to fucking get back hold of control and I'm going to run it and I'm going to have Moyes and we're starting off. He's brought in these players. He's made a bit of money out of Stoyton because he's unearthed Kudus and Alvarez and players like that. And he probably wants control back. and he probably thought, I'm going to run with David Moyes. But now he's put the cat amongst the pigeons. What if he's pissed off Tim Steidten as well, Tommy?
That's the worry, because Tim Steidten was brought in to do a particular job. To go out, find these young gems, that will be fantastic value for money, and then we can sell on for a large profit, hopefully. Now, you're not going to get hit with every single player, but if you're going to bring Steidten in to do that, when it comes time to sign the checkbook, Sullivan's arsehole puckers up tighter than a snare drum.
I know.
So so they've got to decide which direction they want to go. Because my understanding with this deal in January was that Sullivan had spoken to Barry Silkman, who said it was too much money to shell out on an unproven youngster. And so Sullivan just lost his bollocks on the deal. So what's the point of Steidten? If you're Tim Steidten, you're thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? You bring me in to do a job, and then you cut me off at the knees when I tried to do it.
If it happened like that, Tommy, and if I was Steidten, that is against all the reasons why I was brought in. I'd be looking to look, because
that would be straight into Sullivan's office.
You would be. Right, listen, I have got an update from Sean. I asked him to update me if he had anything. It's not what you want to hear. Because he's not fucking around now. I said to him, look, if it's anything, I said, please just let us know. And Sean's frustrated with this now as well. He is. I spoke to him earlier. But he's obviously managed to talk to him, and this is coming out of the club. There is no one available to replace Moyes, even if they wanted to.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me.
To be honest, what I'm saying is, but that's bullshit, because we can get rid of bullshit and have a caretaker management team there. That is an absolute bullshit narrative. I'm not having it.
I think he's had a good little spell as a manager before. Let him take over.
Sullivan held on to him last season. He considers that a masterstroke. He's going to do the fucking same again. Right, he is all the way to the end.
He's followed that up by saying the Potter story, which I haven't seen. Apparently, the Potter story is fake. No interest at all, and we have no interest in Jose Mourinho.
Well, that's a plug.
Yeah, none of that surprises me. I mean, did anybody really think that Moyes was going to get sacked?
No, of course not.
Not at this point.
No, of course not. No.
So that's basically the excuse from Sullivan as to why he's not going to be sacked. No matter what happens in the second half of the season, he will be here at least till the end of the season. The only glimmer of hope that I have from today is that it might kind of tip the scales away from Moyes getting a contract at the end of the season. That could be a result that makes Sullivan and the rest of the board look at it and go, fucking hell, I don't know, do we really want to give him another contract after this? That's the only good thing that might come from today, is it might tip the scales in favour of them moving on from Moyes in the summer.
Yeah. No,
Sullivan's happy for him to be taking all the heat instead of Sullivan, right? At the end of the day.
What I will say is, and this is when, for me as a fan, I will switch my attention from Moyes to Sullivan only if Sullivan gives him his contract.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Same here.
I'm not going to take the heat off of David Moyes at the moment, because I don't want the fucker here. But if Sullivan ignores the calls of the fans, ignores that, and gives David Moyes his contract, at that point, there is no point focusing anything on Moyes at that point. No point at all. You've got to focus everything. I think the full fucking force then needs to go to Sullivan. Ignore Moyes. Pretend he ain't even there.
I'm already planning the Sullivan videos for the reserves channel. We're going to
smash him. We're going to fucking smash him. So it's up to him. It's up to him what he does.
Yeah.
He don't care. He don't care.
The answer that you got given, Nick, by Sean just then was exactly the same narrative as last year when they were saying about when we looked like he was going to get relegated, and that he said the same thing. There's no manager out there. There's no manager out there.
Yeah, but who'd they take us for? That's as bad as Moyes saying West Ham. West Ham started when I arrived. It's a lie.
Well,
they're lying to us. Of course, there's people out there.
We're not thick people. Do you know what I mean?
No, they think we are. They think we're little mugs, little fucking wankers who go a long way. They don't rate us at all, right? If we disappear, they think another lot are going to come and take our place, and they're likely correct. Yeah, but
and you know what? Fucking,
go on, Tom.
just before, sorry to interrupt, but just before you move on, the thing that fucking pisses me off with these Moyes in crowd is that they keep looking at the table, pointing at 6 and saying, "Oh, what's anyone else going to do?" With the money that those stats that you showed,
yeah,
right, with the money that we've spent on players, and we do have a lot of good players that we've bought.
We're where we should be, Tom.
We should be top 6.
The top 6. The old school, the Sky Sports top 6 aren't the Sky Sports top 6 anymore. United are struggling a bit. Chelsea are in the mud. And last season, Newcastle took advantage of that and got themselves into a Champions League spot. This season, Aston Villa are taking advantage of it and getting themselves into a top 6 spot.
Yep.
And if you look at that graph, that table you showed, Nick, we're very, very close to Newcastle and Villa on spending.
Oh,
there
is literally nothing in it, Tom.
I don't think.
Are you seriously telling me another manager couldn't come in and be doing something like Newcastle did last season?
Let me ask you this, Tommy. What do you think someone like Emery would do with some of these players that we've got? With Paqueta, with Kudus, with Bowen, with players like that? What do you think he would do, honestly? Because I'm not being funny. Before Emery came in, Ollie Watkins looked shit. And players have started to look good now because they're playing a style of football that suits personnel, if you like.
Look at that Douglas Luiz. Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, their midfield now looks absolutely ridiculous. They've got Tillemans, they've got Louise. But you know what? John McGinn ain't a world beater, but he looks like a world beater for them because he performs a function in a functioning team. David Moyes just focuses on squeezing his favourite players into the team. I feel like it don't even feel like there's systems come into it, Tom. I feel like he just wants to get in his favourite players. It's like today, we've got Cornet on the bench, a player that he's probably going to need at some point this season. And he's all he's doing is he's going further to crush the guy's spirit because we've played James Ward-Prowse left, we even played Calvin Phillips left. Now we've played fucking Ben Johnson left twice. What the fuck must Cornet think at that point?
I think he knows though. Cornet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to answer your question first and foremost, if we had Emery, we'd be where Villa are now.
Yeah,
very likely,
100%,
easily.
We'd be challenging up in that top 4. He would get far more out of our players than Moyes does. And the thing as well, if you look at today, the thing that was so noticeable in that game as well for me today, in that second half, Moyes made a substitute. He took off Emerson and brought on Aaron fucking Cresswell.
Yeah, that was inspired, wasn't
it? Arsenal brought on a 16-year-old.
I know.
And that, to me, I was shaking my head. I was saying, that's fucking David Moyes all over. Scarles was on the bench.
I think he was.
He wouldn't bring him on.
I think Arteta was just taking.
There's no way. Apparently, according to Moyes this week, our players need to be 21 before they get a chance. Tommy, 21.
Yeah, I fucking can't stand him. I just have such a philosophical kind of disagreement with Moyes on football and how it should be played and what it should look like, and particularly when it comes to our more talented younger players. I think Emery would make a bit more use of them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he'd start playing 4 of them every week, but I think he would have some of them on the bench. I think he would give them some minutes. I think he would coach them properly on the training ground, as well as the senior players, of course. And he would actually, whatever players that we've got that are young, that have got what it takes, he would find out which of those players have got what it takes, and he would make them Premier League players. He would integrate them eventually into the first team as regulars.
They've all done it this year. Villa have done it. Chelsea have done it. City have done it. Arsenal have done it. All the big sides, even Palace, have put a youngster in there, right? 17, 18, 19, these players, they're getting a run out, and they get a run out in a scenario where they're protected, right? So you could be winning a game, you could be 2 or 3-0 up, cruising, you take your right back off because you've got an up-and-coming right back on the bench, you give him 20 minutes, the other players take care of him, see him through the game. That's how you nurture a player and bring them in, right? So when you need them, they've already had a little bite, a little taste, right?
Yeah,
we know how it works. We know how it works. But Moyes knows how it works.
Right, Tommy, we've got a few more calls to go through, mate. That was a brilliant call. Thank you very much,
Tommy.
I will say for anyone, because there's a lot of people watching, For anyone that wants to see more of Tommy, he's brilliant, by the way. He does have a regular Friday night show. He does a late show, 10 o'clock on the West Ham Network. So don't forget, go and check Tommy out. He's a
Tommy, why don't you ask me on yet? Is it because me pews? I'll keep on to him anyway.
But yeah, don't forget, go and give Tommy a follow. His shows are brilliant.
Here.
Appreciate it, chaps, and hopefully we'll talk again soon. Take care of yourselves.
Pew pew. Cheers, mate.
Take care.
See you later.
Right, he really wants to phone in.
Who's that?
Man TV.
He keeps on asking about 5 different times, I think.
Oh, we've got calls to run through, mate, at the moment because they're literally backed up, and then I'll put my number up if we've still got time afterwards. Right, hang on.
And if you haven't got time, just keep hold of the number, Man TV. And
and then what you do is next time. So next time, just text me if you want to come on.
And you'll be on.
Right, Kingy.
Hello, lads.
Hello, mate. You're all right.
You're still in the Aussie Cockney.
Kangaroo again.
You're still in the bad books with the missus. Are you all right now?
Yeah, I was very much on the sofa last night. I had a few drinks. I wish I was still drunk, actually.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I wish I was still drunk. I normally do wake up for the games, and I think I tried to last night, but with bad effect. But I'm glad I didn't because I woke up this morning, just watched it. I've got to be honest, as I normally do, I started fast forwarding through the game because it's fucking poor to watch, and then you just see numbers keep going up.
It was just depressing.
Oh my god,
mate! It was
so
depressing.
Boys, it's got to change now. It's got to change now.
It won't.
As I just said in one of the comments, I just said he's de-appreciating the value of the players that we've already got, right? And if Sullivan is more worried about money than anything, then fucking surely he can see that his assets are dropping by having this clown in charge.
Yeah. Well, I can't work it out because this is what you've just said there is because it doesn't matter what angle you try and take when you look at this situation. I don't see the benefit of keeping David Moyes when you look at the expenditure. Don't get me wrong. If we were Sheffield United and we were spending fuck all, and you had this bloke that was low blocking his way to 6th place, 7th place, this, that, the other, on a shoestring budget. Well, he ain't doing it on a shoestring budget. He's doing it on a fucking Jimmy Choo-string budget. We've spent the eighth most money in the Premier League. We have. We've got a ridiculous wage bill, seventh highest. Yeah. I don't understand. It doesn't even make any business sense. I can only imagine that. I don't know. Maybe it is something like I don't know. Has David Moyes got something on Sullivan? Has he? I don't know. I can't work it out.
I think he's just threatening him with opening up his media mates on him, right? That's all Sullivan cares about, being made to look bad in the media, right? That's all he cares about, literally.
I told you my theory on it, but I can't say it on here because it's got something to do with a glory hole. But I'm not allowed to say it as much. Troj, going to what that says, I know we are Moyes focused, but like I was saying earlier on,
we're Sully focused as well.
You've got to choose your battles,
mate. We did dedicated shows on Sullivan.
And there's no right. Yeah, we did. But we've got to focus, like, you've got to choose your battles. And Sullivan, no matter what we say about him, we can't, it's not going to change unless someone comes in with big money buyout.
Yeah.
But with Moyes, there is a chance that we could make a difference there. And we need to because he's got a fucking go.
There is a trigger. Trudge, there is a trigger. And that trigger is Moyes signing a new contract.
Yeah.
When he does that, we focus on Sullivan.
Yeah. You want to see Sully focus come back
overnight.
But yeah, so sorry, Ryan. Go on, mate.
No, you're all right, mate. And like you see, as you said, it's an embarrassment today in terms of seeing all them fans leaving. It's literally empty seats after like fucking half time. Like, and then put Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips came on my TV, and I was like, "What the fuck are you showing me in for?" Like, he's been useless. So it's all about fucking how it's so. The TV channels, the fucking Talk Sport, they all try to make out that we're fucking thick, right? And we ain't the thick ones. at the moment. They are, because if they can't see, these are meant to be football people, football men. Fuck me, if they think that is good enough for any fucking team, they're fucking seeing from a different angle to me. I'll tell you that, because I just don't understand how they can think that we're the ones in the wrong by leaving football matches, complaining about the football, when they've just seen it live on TV.
Yeah.
Live on TV, and that was 6-0. That's been coming. And everyone asked me yesterday at football when I turned up my team. They went, "Oh, how do you think you're going to get on tonight?" So we're going to get absolutely smashed. No one understands that we actually see it for what it is.
No,
and because they always like, "Nah, it's going to be a more even game. You beat them twice already this year." It was fucking luck. We beat them.
It has been, and like I said earlier on, King, it does over the course of a season, right? Over the course of a season. I said it earlier on. I do believe it. I do believe that football always wins, and I do believe that eventually results will follow the pattern of performances. I think if they will eventually. You might get lucky, you might shit out some wins, this, that, the other. But I'm not being funny. Eventually, the results will start to catch up to the performances, won't they? They will.
Yeah, because luck will always run out.
Yeah.
Luck will always run out, and it keeps running out for us. This isn't the first hiding we've had this year. It's not the first item we've had.
We've had loads.
The second, the third.
4-0 Villa, 5-0 Fulham, 5-0 Liverpool, and now 6-0 Arsenal.
6-0 Arsenal. Fuck me.
We've scored we've conceded 9 goals without reply in the last 2 games. 9 goals.
He's got to answer to this. He's got to answer to this now. That's it for me. Honestly, as I said, I'm over here, and I struggle to fucking watch the games now. It's so fucking boring. Like, I have to drink now to watch the games. I have to drink.
Mate, we
Is
all
that what
do.
you told your missus last night?
Yeah. Well, it's true though. I don't get the struggle, Ryan, do they? I don't get the struggle, mate.
No, they don't. Fucking hell, man. But like, I'm coming over for 5 games next month, and I'll tell you what, I'm a bit gutted how much money I've fucking spent on tickets, because after watching that,
we'll have a good time.
It'll be a laugh. It's always a laugh, right? Even today, Ryan, we were in the ground. We had a laugh. We started singing your songs like we're going to win 7-6. Let's pretend that we have scored, and all the good classics. You know, that only lasted about 10 minutes though. Then we got a bit morose.
Mandy G's just asked a question. I think the question should more be along the lines of something else. But she says, "What will it take now for Moyes to get a new contract?" I think the question should be, what will it take for Moyes to not get a new contract?
I think it'll just take an upturn in form, and they'll do it then, right? That's all it'll take.
I actually thought it was going to be this game. I actually thought he might fluke a fucking result today. But after not doing that, he's got to go now. You can't take that many hammerings in a fucking year.
This is the business end of the season, Ryan, isn't it?
Yeah, like we're falling badly, and you can see Brentford, Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle. They're all going to overtake us. They're all going to overtake us.
We've been looking over our shoulders.
We did the Okie Kokie as well today. We did that at 6-0. That's what we did.
They're good lads at Hawaiian Hammers. But we've been looking over our shoulders now since Christmas, right? And we're kind of lucky that teams haven't really been picking up the points that they probably should have. But we've been shit for so long now that we're just dropping down the table anyway. So we've kind of been drawing, now losing, drawing, losing. What is it, 7 games now?
Yeah, but like I keep on saying,
7 games.
It's a reflection of how we're playing. It's a real reflection. It's a true reflection on how we're playing. Yeah. So it's not a surprise. That's what we keep saying. It's not a surprise.
I don't get all this XG bullshit like, oh, we're expected to score these goals and expected to score that. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, even that's telling us we're shit.
Yeah.
Mate, it is. So I watched a program the other day that was a YouTube. I think it was a 4-4-2 thing when we signed Calvin Phillips. And what it was, they were saying how West Ham are an anomaly, right? And this guy went through the stats for West Ham, and he said West Ham are an anomaly because expected goals for, we are virtually down at the bottom of the fucking league for expected goals for. So that's the goals that we're expected to score. Possession stats, we're down the bottom of the league with all of the other shitters like Sheffield United, not Burnley, because they've actually got quite high, but a lot of the others, we're down the bottom. Expected goals against, we're one of the highest.
Yeah.
therefore, the data suggests we should be fighting relegation right now.
If it wasn't for those few wins, we would have been. Those few lucky wins, we would have been.
I know.
But
And
it
like
wasn't-
Ralph
it wasn't a lucky
there,
win.
comments.
It wasn't a lucky win. It was Moyes'
Like Ralph
masterclass.
just said,
Yeah, Moyes masterclass.
We're on 0.21 XG today.
Hey, Gal, go on. Sorry, Ryan.
like Ralph just said there, he said about the teletext fans, right? I'm turning into one because I tell you what, I don't want to watch it. I'm fucking so over
Mate,
it.
I don't.
Like, and it doesn't have to be like that. Like, we've got some fucking cracking players there. Like, we are, as we've always said, like, we've got a McDonald's chef in a fucking Michelin star restaurant.
That is
It's fucking stupid.
Mate, isn't that an actual fucking? That's the best analogy for it. We've got Michelin-starred ingredients in a new restaurant, and we've got some fucking useless bloke out there that wants to deep fry Mars bars. That's what.
Have a deep fried Mars bar, though.
I know.
Thing is, and the other thing we've spoke about is his CV. Yeah, it's all he worries is about. All he worries about is his CV, right? He should have left after that fucking European trophy win, right? Because his stock would have been so high that he would have got a fucking job. But at this rate, he ain't gonna get a fucking job after this. Because the football shit, his results are going against him.
Mate,
we're dropping down the table.
Mate, he ain't
people talking about Europe.
Mate,
no chance.
I think people are off their fucking heads. I've been saying it even when we was doing well, when we were sitting in sixth. I maintain it, and I said it on Twitter the other day, right? Nobody came back. I'm followed by quite a few opposition fans on like a lot of Newcastle, a lot of Villa and stuff like that. I posted the other day because we get a lot of comments from other fans saying you're ungrateful. He's done well for you. I put a post out there. I said, I'll tell you what, opposition fans. I said, your manager gets sacked now. David Moyes gets appointed. Are you happy? Are you happy? I got fuck all back. None of them want him. Yeah, none of them want him. I didn't get one response back from an opposition fan to say I'd take David Moyes. Not one.
Because there's a lot of fans at opposition team that think that we or know that we're a fucking banter club, so they want to keep Moyes in as much as anyone. To
I know.
Be fair to you. They're loving that. You don't think I've got so many messages laughing at West Ham fans walking out the ground, but they have no idea of what we have to watch for.
Do you know what? Yeah, but do you know what though? We kind of deserve it, you know, because as a club we are a banter club. You know, we're completely divided. We've got a section of fans who know what we want. You know, we're not embarrassing as far as I'm concerned. We know what we want. We don't accept this, but we've got a massive portion of fans. We've got a divided fan base. That the only reason that he's still here is because the fan base is divided. You know that. That's it. You know, if it wasn't divided and everyone unanimously said no,
100%.
He would not be here. But it's divide and conquer. They've got a manager in that has divided the fan base, and that works for them.
You're 100% right there. You're 100% right. I hadn't thought of that before. That is absolutely true.
It's true.
Because the thing is, anyone who's supporting Moyes now, and I've got it over here with a few Brisbane Hammers and stuff like that in Australia, and I ask them, what is it that you're enjoying about it? And they can't answer it. And they're like, oh, same old West Ham. I'm sick of hearing same old West Ham. Because at the end of the day, the amount of money we've spent and like the technical director we've got in now in Tim Stighton, we was going in a different direction. The fact that we've done a complete U-turn on all of it and gone, fuck it, all right, we will be the same old West Ham. What's the point in having these people on board? Like, Tim Stighton, I feel for him.
Mate, do you know what drives me mad, right? Do you know what drives me mad? I don't know why we're going out spending all of this money on all of these players. Your Caduces, you know, your Paquetas, you know, the money was spent on Aguirre, you know, these players that we're buying. You don't need these players to play this style of football. In fact, it's probably detrimental to you if you want to play a low block. You should go out and buy shit house players because they'll probably be grateful. They'll roll their sleeves up and they will just grind and grind and grind and grind because that is kind of their limit. You don't go out and fucking with gaslighting signings, which is what we do, because this is what happens. We've now got a load of players that don't suit this system, and you can see they're getting fucked off with it, Ryan. You can see it.
Yeah, without doubt. Like you see Kudus today, he's chucking his arms about. I don't disagree with him. I think he's got every right to, because he's not playing the style of football that he should be playing. Like,
that's right.
And then you've got Souček, who's going around in fucking circles. Oh my God.
I know.
I've got a better centre midfield player for my fucking team. Like, it's just 5-yard passes. He can't even do that. Like, you're a central midfield player. You should be able to fucking pass the ball 5 yards.
Mate, I swear.
And then
you
you got Bowen picking
mate,
the ball up.
I swear
You
to
got
you.
Bowen picking the ball up in the back four.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Fuck me. You got Bowen picking up the ball from the back four.
Yeah,
Like,
you noticed that.
his job.
Mate, and that's the thing. I feel so sorry for Bowen because he's working his arse off, right? He was up there when people were saying earlier on when I was talking about low block. Well, it weren't a low block because we was pressing from the front. We had one bloke up front running between 4 defenders, running an absolute fruitless task because they was running like he's in the middle of the biggest rondo in the world, Ryan. He was never going to get the ball. He's just running and running and running for no reason whatsoever. And that's why I think people have started to get the ump with Antonio now. Because Antonio, when he comes on there, I think he has got to the stage now where he goes, you know what? He picks his moments when he runs. He's fucked off doing that. It's fruitless. If that was me doing that, I couldn't convince one of my 15-year-olds to do that. Just run. Go up there on your own and run between 4 defenders. How do you convince someone to do that?
I agree with this.
The only time Bowen touches the ball. The only time Bowen touches the ball is when he goes into defence.
Yeah,
such
I know.
That's it.
Such a waste of a great player, you know, having him fucking toil between 2 big centre halves.
I know.
You know.
But Trudge says, but hang on. Trudge says we needed a striker, a left wing, and a centre back in the window. Centre back, yes. A left winger, yes. But Trudge, a striker. I'm sorry, mate. What striker? We've had all different flavours now. Danny Ings, we've had Haller, Skamaki. You can call them shit if you want. But the fact of the matter is, this system, David Moyes has never had a successful striker in his whole fucking million games managing at top level. He just hasn't. They're always basically... Go on, mate.
Gary made a really good point in his video when he did the Moyes Masterclass video, right?
Yeah.
Moyes, in that Masterclass video, did not mention a striker once when he was talking about his formation.
No.
They're irrelevant to him. Irrelevant to him.
They're an hindrance as well.
So this is the thing. Why would you? And that's the thing. That's where I will back Sullivan up. Do I think he should have got? I would have gone and got a right back. I'll be honest with you. Even though we've got Johnson now, my focus would have been an Emerson for the right. I think we need that. I would have gone out and got another centre back. I think he needs a shit house centre back because he's going to play shit house football. So I think he does need that. He needs that kind of old fashioned English defender. He does need that if you're going to keep Moyes for the season. But do you know what? A striker, a left winger, yes, but then a striker, I'd be looking at it thinking, we've hemorrhaged so much fucking money on this geezer. I mean, we've just look, I know he's not a striker, but Fornals, 28 years old, Fornals, we've sold for 7 million.
And look at what he just done.
£7 million.
There's a cracking comment.
Drove him into the ground to the point where he was fucking almost had no value.
There's a cracking comment in his post-match presser today, right? From him. One of the reasons he gave that we weren't very good is that we're not quite as big and powerful as we were last year. And Declan played a big part in that. And our stature generally is what helps us score goals and defend a lot of set pieces. He wants more big men.
Just wants likes big men, loves big men. I think goes back to your glory hole theory, Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, another glory hole theory.
Thanks, Sue.
Cheers, Sue. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
I'm just going to do a tribute to Gary from Wanford. One last thing. But I just want to say everything that you fucking do and say, boys, it's exactly what a lot of us are thinking. It's just that you've got the platform to say it, and it gives us all platform to say what we want to say as well, right?
And you know,
keep up the good work.
Yeah, but you know what? It comes down to bottle as well,
Ryan.
right? It comes down to bottle as well, and I appreciate that, Ryan. And for anyone that doesn't follow, they're like our partner channel. He's a Cockney that now lives in Australia. Basically, it's a great channel. They're new. Go and give them a look, and they're the same. Don't get me wrong; they're more balanced than us at this stage because they've still. No. What I mean is there's balance because you're fucking Moyes out and you say what you think, and the others are kind of tipping that way. You can see it; they're tipping that way. But do you know what? You're brave as well because you say what's on your mind. You say it properly, and that's how you've got to do it. Don't fucking fluff around.
There's no point in doing these shows and having these channels if you ain't going to say what you want to say. And that's the reason that these channels exist, and the reason that they've happened, because Talk Sports, Sky Sports, TNT Sports, they've given us no fucking voice. And finally, thank God that we've been given a voice on these channels. So everyone in the chat, happy days. And one last thing, love you all.
Love you, mate.
Cheers,
Ryan.
Just
See you
to
later.
people know,
Cheers, mate. See you
Ryan's
later.
name is actually Brad. He is a real Australian, but he watched Green Street years ago.
Yes, he is. He's putting it on.
He's a Motley.
He watches that Danny Dyer.
He's a Motley.
You know the Danny Dyer documentary where he went out to see fucking UFO.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does.
What is that? It's got a fucking massive nut.
That's what he does. But Ryan, he's really brave. He does go surfing every day, and he does throw shrimps on the barbie. Don't be fooled.
Right, hang on 1 second. Right, we've got Corral. We're going to give Corral a call.
Sorry, 1 second as well. I was on the. Sorry, Corral. 1 second, right? All right. Now, on the way back from the game, I listened to Free Hammers as well and watched them in the car. They were a good watch as well.
Sorry. Yeah, the Free Hammers. I've been trying to get Luke from the Free Hammers on probably since I've started this show. I'll be honest with you.
They're a good channel, you know. A good channel.
But Luke, he works in a school. It's all about timing with Luke. Like a lot of his videos that he does, he's basically when he's got time, when he does to and from. So we will get Luke on. Luke, I will get you on, mate. We'll make time to get you on. He does. He's another one. He says he's a lot of channels do. What I'm saying is a lot of channels do as well. Luke's great.
He's a good bloke. But he says about the timing and that, but he's put a couple of comments up here tonight. So Luke, you've been clocked. Come on the show, mate.
No, he does. He does want to come on. He does want to come on. So we will definitely get him on 100%.
Yeah, because I watched Nick shout at me in the car, right, while I was driving, and then I watched Gio who lost his shit as well, right, and then I had nothing, right, and I switched over to Free Hammers, opened that be on, and it was actually a really good. It was a brilliant listen. It always is, right?
He's a great guy. He really is. And it's just and the thing is, Luke is he's a really mild mannered guy as well. And this is what I mean. Look, you might look at me and go, oh, you're a fucking hothead. You're gonna, but this is doing this. No. What I'm saying is, but it's doing this to people that are mild. People are switching over now. It's like I said to you, go back to that West Ham Fan TV fan cam. Look for the guy Lucky, I think his name is. It was one that was done tonight by Nicky, and the guy literally, I almost cried when I was watching it, and I will say,
he's got one of these hats on, hasn't he? He's got one of these hats on.
He has. But it's honestly, but he said exactly. It just completely resonated with all of us. It would do. Yeah. Brilliant, really good. So look, I'm going to give Corral a call. He left early today, and he's discussing.
Corral is going to talk tactics.
He's going to destroy him. He's going to rip him to pieces.
What he spotted that we didn't.
Right, he had some money on Nigeria in the AFCON as well, so I don't know what.
Haller scored for the Ivory Coast.
Hello, Corral.
Hello,
mate.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, mate. Well, I've just heard.
Hey, guys.
I've just heard that Haller killed your bet.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately. Although I have to say, they deserve to win. They play better and they attack more. But it was a nice goal. But the bastard still wasn't really smiling. Something never changed.
He don't.
But Ivory Coast played better, and it's a sad state of affairs. I got more enjoyment from this game. Two countries that I don't care about. I've got a Nigerian friend. I've got an Ivorian friend. I just wanted to watch the game. One, because I had money on it, and two, because I watched a few games throughout the tournament. But I got more enjoyment from this than I have done from many of our games this season, and that's really sad.
Would you know?
I haven't watched.
Corral, sorry to interrupt. You know what? I'm starting to find that I'm watching more football as a neutral now, and I'm starting to really appreciate. Like I never used to really give a fuck too much about other football, but it's almost like I'm craving something that West Ham are just not fucking giving me now. Something's gone.
Absolutely.
And I'm not being funny. Even I fucking hate Tottenham. I'll even watch them and I'll enjoy the game.
Nick, sorry, I wouldn't stoop that low.
No, but
I'm
mate,
sorry.
I'm literally enjoying all football as a neutral now, apart from with West Ham. I am. I'm sorry, I can't help it. It's fucking.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
That ain't me. That ain't me. I'm quite ignorant about football normally when I'm
No. I mean, look, I haven't watched your show for the first time in a long time, and apologies. It's no offense to any of you because I love you guys, but I just couldn't bring myself to do so, and I wanted some kind of respite, and I wanted to watch the Nigeria game. So I apologize if I repeat anything that you guys have said. A very wounded pew, Mickey. One thing I will say though, and I'm sure that it's been repeated many times by yourselves and the people that have called in prior. I left after the third goal, as I said to you. I've been going to West Ham since 1982. I've never left this early in my life. And when we were growing up, my dad always said to us, because we used to alternate season tickets with my brother. He'd go one home game, I'd go the next, and we'd share away games. My dad always said to us, you don't leave until the very end. And that stayed with us, growing up until the last 5-10 years, really, that I've been going. Since we moved to this Fishbowl Stadium, I found myself leaving earlier, but never ever prior to, 70 minutes or something. But today, whenever the third goal went in, 41st, 42nd minute, I just couldn't stand it. And I said to the chap next to me, this is going to get very ugly, very quick. I'm off. And then I could hear the screams outside when the fourth went in. It was absolutely shambolic. And I mean, as I said, I'm sure you guys have said everything, many times before. So I'm sorry if I repeat anything, but the setup was wrong. The desire from the players, and I said this a few weeks ago, if your manager's not instilling confidence into you before a game, then it's going to come out. And we all knew that a spanking like this was coming. You'd think that the Fulham game would have been enough warning. How many games is it that we've spent this season and we've not scored in? And most recently as well that we've not scored. So the Brighton game, no goal. Bournemouth game, you can kind of say no goal really because the goal was a penalty.
Yep.
Man United, no goal. Yeah, we should have had 2 maybe, but we didn't. Today, no goal. And from what I saw in 42 minutes, we didn't even come close, really, to scoring. If a manager is this obstinate, and nobody can hate Moyes as much as I do, or more than I do, rather. If a manager is this obstinate...
I would dispute that, Carell. I would dispute that.
Okay, fair enough. I've got history, though. I've not liked him since 2018, so get in line.
Yeah,
if a manager cannot see that a team that's not scoring needs a change in formation and personnel, then I'm sorry, there's 1 or 2 reasons. 1, they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
2, they're so pig-headed that they refuse to change. In Moyes' case, I honestly think it's a bit of each. We all know, and I said this a few weeks ago as well, Bowen is not a centre forward.
Sorry to interrupt. I think he's fucking.
Right.
I think he's fucking useless.
Well, I know he is. The thing is, I mean, I don't know a lot of their players' names. I refuse to because I just can't stand them. But their central defender had Bowen in his pocket the whole game.
Yep.
It's an unfair mismatch. The guy's 6'2", 6'3". He's a very physical player. Why are you putting Bowen, who's 5'10", at most 5'11", up front against him in a position that we all know he cannot play? He will always try. He will always fight. And up until their goal, Bowen and Alvarez were the only 2 that, to be honest with you, gave a shit, to be honest with you. I think they were the only 2 that really tried. But Bowen will always try, regardless. Even in that Liverpool 5-1 drumming, him and Johnson were the only 2 that really gave it something. And they came out with a goal and an assist, respectively. So you can't ever fault Bowen for that. I think that the whole emphasis on putting him there has begun to demoralize him in the last couple of games, and it won't stop him trying. And Moyes is using that fact in the hope that it's going to blindly turn it around. You put someone like Ings in from the beginning to try and rough up that defender as much as he can, and it might destabilize them. Their goalkeeper was standing on the center circle and the halfway line for a lot of that first half because he was so comfortable that we weren't going to get the ball before he could at least jog back to his goal. What does that tell you? That everyone sussed us out.
Well, the thing is as well, right? How can it not? Do you know the way the game started? A couple of times, Kudus did it. He nicked the ball. And then we went on a counter,
and he had a chance in the first couple of minutes, which I think he hesitated.
But then Bowen as well. It shows you that. Do you know something? If you're going to hurt Arsenal, a team that are so comfortable on the ball, and they've got so much ability, but they fuck around at the back. Then do you know what?
Yeah,
some people have said we pressed high. Bowen pressed high on his own. I'm not
No,
being
he
funny.
didn't.
If you want to go at them and you want to hurt them, then that's what you do. You try and fucking rough them up. Don't let them play out from the back. Don't let them do what they want to do, or at least try to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. This is a manager, as much as I detest him and his antics on the sideline, this is a guy that learned under the tutelage of arguably one of the best managers in history. They like to pass it around. Obviously, they're not as good as Man City. Their goalkeeper is a liability. We didn't figure this out. We didn't go at them and try and ruffle them up early on. We did for like 2.5 minutes, but then that was it. And then it's revert to type. The second that you allow them to play, and as much as I can't stand this game, and I'm desperately trying to pinch myself to think that it was a nightmare, unfortunately it wasn't. As much as I don't like them, they are comfortable with the ball. They want to have the ball. So if you're saying to the opposition, listen, I don't want it, please, you have it. And you know, or you ought to know, that this is a team that wants to have the ball. You're setting yourself up for failure. Now, that doesn't excuse the scoreline at all. But again, it's something that could have been at least of what I always thought we'd lose this game. I thought we'd lose 3-1, but maybe kind of put up some kind of a fight early on.
Give it a go.
Give it some kind of go.
Yeah.
But to be submissive in this manner and to concede 3 goals in 3-5 minutes, whatever it was, is unforgivable. And I'm not excusing the players. I'm not. But I think that they've all been hypnotized so much by this person that they're all beginning to doubt themselves.
See, Corral, where I'm at now, I do excuse the players because I can only imagine what it must be like to be in this environment. And I know that they made mistakes today. I know that, don't get me wrong, I thought for 30 minutes they were doing their best. What we had Bowen tracking back. They were. But what I mean is they were doing their best to execute this wanker of a plan that they had to try and deliver. And I just think
absolutely no, I agree.
You know?
I agree with that. But ultimately, you're not going to be able to get away with it for 90 minutes against a team that's so comfortable with the ball, against a team that likes to pass the ball, against a team that likes to shoot with the ball. How many corners did we give away before the goal came? 7 or 8?
There was loads, mate. It was coming, and the other, and
it was coming.
And what I will ask you, Corral, because you're a tactically astute man, right? Everyone knows how Arsenal scored the most goals in the Premier League this season from set pieces, right? Everybody
running
knows,
from the back.
Everybody
post.
knows they run from the back post. Everyone except West Ham, it seems.
Yeah, because Nolan's checking his emails and he's checking YouTube videos because he seem to do anything else with his preparation, and neither does Moyes.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's right. I mean,
you got to preempt this, Nick. You got to preempt. Sorry, Gary. You got to preempt this, and you've got to plan for it accordingly. But if you're not doing your homework, you're going to fail. The even more worrying thing is, as soon as it became 2-0, make 2 changes, slow the game down. You can see, or you should be able to see, it's slipping away from you. Mix it up. Zuma, as much as you think, okay, he's shown moments of playing really well in the past. He can't help it. He's got no cartilage in his legs. The man doesn't train.
His knees.
He looks like he's in agony.
I don't blame Zuma. I love Zuma.
You can't blame him.
To me, the man looks like he's playing in agony. That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
it
does. I mean, I tore my ACL. His is a lot worse than mine. I tore my ACL, and even though I can't play anymore, I know that sometimes my knee gets so stiff it's hard to walk. Never mind him as a professional footballer that's playing 90 minutes plus a week, even though he's not training. But Moyes is subjecting him to this, and it's suicide because you've got a guy that's at the heart of your defense that can't run, he can barely jog, and he's playing against 3 front players and Odegaard coming from deep as well, running at him. Yeah. And who's beside him? Aguerd. Aguerd's got this misconception that he's on the same level as Desai. The amount of cavalier passes that this guy has made in the last 6-9 months is ridiculous.
Mate, I am sorry. I am sorry, right? I know that I don't always blame Aguerd for the way that he plays, but you know what? He has got a bit of ability, but I will say his crossfield passing is fucking shit.
I saw him for Morocco in this tournament. He plays differently. He does. And we know that he can play differently because he's shown it in the past for us. Yeah. However, you play to whatever, unfortunately, your manager wants of you. Now, if your manager wants you to play this low defensive style and not have the ball too much and just to hoof it outfield, you shouldn't be playing intricate kind of pinpoint passes diagonally across the field in the hope that Kudus is going to, outreach their fullback and stop the ball before it goes out. Playing it 80, 90 yards across the field. Play it a lot simpler. You've got the ability to pass it with your left foot, but speed up the tempo. The whole tempo of the team has been wrong as well. And again, this is not excusing Moyes at all, but the whole tempo of the team for too many games now, they're too static. How do you expect to do something against any team, but especially one that runs at you when your players are standing still? There was one incident where before the second goal, Emerson's trying to backheel the ball off Saka on the halfway line to try and get a throw. It didn't pan off, and Saka came 30, 40 yards up the field. They're too casual. But this is more again from a manager that is telling them, sit back, defend, absorb pressure, wait. Maybe you can get a long pass. Maybe 5'10" Bowen's going to, out jump or something, a 6'2" defender that likes to play rough. Maybe. And then you're thinking, what are the rest of them doing in the meantime? They're all passengers. No one's tackling except Alvarez. Everyone's backing up. What the fuck's happened to Areola?
Yeah, I know.
Like 3 years ago was something else. He was the number one next in line for the French national team. What the hell's going on with
his distribution? We can only explain what's happened to his distribution in that we were getting frustrated with Fabianski with his slow distribution, right? Yeah. What he did today before the first goal, Steve next one seat but one across at football today, he pointed out that before that that first goal, what happened was Areola tried to hit a high ball up into his own half to find Souček, right? It got robbed off
Gary, I'm just trying to remember the position.
Yeah, it got robbed off of Souček. They nicked the ball, and from that point, their tails seemed to go up. They just robbed it off us, right? Soon after that, I think you saw that beautiful pass across to Martinelli over Soufal's head, like a really fast one. It was, and from that point on, they just switched it up, went into first gear, and destroyed us.
That should have been a goal. Martinelli fucked that ball up.
Yeah,
it should have been. It should have been. But the other thing is, Gary, Areola attempted those passes too many times. He tried to do the same to Emerson. You're trying to be too cute, too specific in your passes from that deep in your goal. How many times did he throw the ball out like he was taking a throw on? How many times did he try and, like an American football style pass when he doesn't need to? You can't do that when you're playing against a team that likes 65, 75% of the ball. The more they've got it, the worse it is for you. And 2 or 3 times, like the Martinelli one, like 1 or 2 offside positions, like 1 or 2 that took a deflection. And I think the first goal, maybe it came from, or the third goal, I think, came from a deflection. But initially, I might be wrong, it started from a poor distribution from Areola or maybe one of the defenders. It bounced back from it, and that was the third goal. So you can't be doing this. And I don't understand how they've all changed their games so drastically for the worse.
Because Moyes likes to slow it down. Moyes likes to run the clock down. That's why Fabianski was doing it. That's why Areola's doing it now.
I know. Yeah? I tell you, Gary, if you see Fabianski from now onwards, don't be surprised. Now, I know what Nick said in his post-match video about, he was the better of all of the players, and this is a guy that conceded 6 goals.
Yeah,
I can only comment up until 3-0. I can't comment after that. No. I think Areola was to blame for the penalty, but if you rewind the position back, there were 2, maybe 3 of the players that didn't push up high enough. I can't remember who. I want to say Soufal and Emerson, but I might be wrong. And I think Aguerd wasn't close enough to Saka. Now, the pass over the top was exquisite, but Areola didn't look like he knew what he was supposed to do once he got it. And if you do know your opposition, you know that if you put a finger on Saka, he's going to fall. Don't give him an opportunity. He looked indecisive. It was a penalty, but he looked indecisive into what he's going to do. And again, this comes back to my point about confidence. The team has none. And I think it will only continue to get worse. The only thing,
and that's the thing. Sorry, Corral, to cut in again, right? This is the thing. What you mentioned there about confidence. These people that are coming out there at the moment and they're smashing the players. David Moyes smashed the players in his press conference. He did.
Yeah. Apparently he did. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, right, you've got to look at that. These are professional players. They've got professional pride. They don't want to go out there and lose, even if they're pissed off. They don't. They always want to be in a team that wins. That is a natural thing for a competitive sportsman, right?
Absolutely.
They're not going out there to fucking lose. There is something desperately fucking wrong when you see a performance like that, and it isn't because Arsenal are the best team the world has ever seen.
No.
You know.
No, I said this to a friend of mine who's an Arsenal fan. He texted me and he said, I wasn't able to watch the game. And I told him, I think we're losing. He said, I think you guys will slip us up, ironically, on Friday.
Yeah.
But he said to me, I didn't see the game, but was it as shambolic as I imagine it was? And I left him like a 3 or 4 minute voice memo. And amongst it, I said to him, we didn't deserve anything from the game, but the players look void of any kind of belief and confidence. And I said, even Luton, at that point in time, when they were in the bottom three, fixed. Luton at home gave Arsenal more of a fight and more of a game than we did today, multiplied by God knows how much. And even then, with a deflected goal, I think Rice headed the ball backward from a corner and it hit the Luton central defender's shoulder and it went in the 98th minute and they won 4-3 in a game that anyone with any objectivity would say Arsenal did not deserve to win. But even Luton gave fight. We have zero fight. We have zero confidence in this clown that is at the team's helm. Completely and for him to come out, and I never ever read his post-match or pre-match comments. I don't want to hear anything coming out of his mouth. I don't want to see his ugly ass face. However, I did see either Gonzo's comments or maybe it was an article. I forget. It's all a bit of a blur of what Moyes said in brief. And the way I remember it is he kind of had a go at the players and said that there needs to be a lot more effort and endeavor going forward. And he's a little bit shell-shocked as to how it happened. Now, if this is what he said, and I'm paraphrasing, if this is what he said, that alone should be enough for Sullivan, if he was the proper chairman, to sack him.
100%.
If your manager comes out after sorry, Mickey, if your manager comes out after a 6-0 disgustingly horrible performance against those fucking mongrels who we've beaten twice this year, one of which had Ogbonna in the defense, need we forget, and he probably played his best game in 2.5 years, then that should say enough to you. Enough is enough. This season can easily spiral out of control. We've got 3 or 4 games that we're facing that on paper, and I repeat, on paper, we can win. We're going to have to part ways and we'll pay you whatever you are, inverted commas, owed, and get the fuck out of the team.
Corral, I mean, right, this is the last thing before I let you go, because we've got 3 more calls and then we're done. I want to run through them all. So there are literally 3 more calls, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us on this. But what you're talking about there is people looking at the situation. I could understand Sullivan, who is not an educated football man. He's a businessman. He doesn't understand. He doesn't give a fuck. He's
not even a West Ham fan.
But what I'm saying is, you've got Steiten, you've got Noble. These people should be getting in Sullivan's ear and making this brutally fucking clear where the issue is.
Totally.
They should be doing that. If they're not, and I'm sorry, they're sticking along with this and they're not doing anything, then like I said earlier on, if he ends up getting his new contract, they are just as culpable as far as I'm concerned. They are.
Absolutely.
They are.
100%. 100% they are. Open your mouth now or forever hold your peace. You can't say anything when it's too late. You've got to say something now, especially Steiten. I still don't know what Noble's role is in the team. And I'm not cutting him out.
He says, fuck all, Noble.
So, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, Gary. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Steiten is the man to open his mouth and say something. Now, he came out and he spoke to Sky in Germany the other day, as we all know. And for the first time, we actually heard him indirectly say something. This is the time next for him to open his mouth and to say something to Sullivan, in private or otherwise. He's got to say something and speak up. I don't think Noble will hold any weight with Sullivan, but I'd like to believe that Steiten would, and that, he'd have enough influence in what he's saying to maybe make Sullivan, and this is a maybe, wake up. The fans will become more and more restless, and rightly so. And as I said to you, Nick, I'm not going to any more games at home, and I will not watch any more games on television until A, this guy is gone once and for all, or B, I see from your channel from what you guys say, that we've improved in our performances and we've got 3 or 4 wins on the spin and we're not just shithouse games. I'm not watching any more games. No. I cannot subject myself to this nightmare. And I've been watching games since 82. The first game I went to was the day after my 7th birthday in 1982. We've all seen lows. No disrespect to Gary, because of his age, he's seen more than us. However, this is beyond acceptable, and I don't mean that to disrespect.
Right,
Gary, you know what I'm saying, Gary.
I was 6 years earlier than you, actually. I started in 76.
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying, though, Gary. I'm not.
Of course.
You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
This is beyond anything that we've seen. This is beyond any seasons that we've got relegated. And I've seen all those relegation seasons in the 80s and 90s, bouncing up and down with the Oldhams and the Sheffield Wednesdays. This is beyond any of that. Those teams at least gave a shit and they tried. This team has had the life sucked out of them. And I don't know, I think it was Nick that uses the jelly or the jam sucked out of a donut analogy. This is what happened to the team. And the players have to say something. If Zuma is a real captain, he needs to speak up. He needs to speak up as well. If he's a captain, he needs to open his mouth and say something, even if in private to Noble.
I don't think he is. Going back to that Sky Sports interview that you said, I think it was very clear how many times Tim Steidten reiterated that Alvarez is a leader. He's a leader.
Of course he is. He's got some name in Spanish. I can't remember. It's El Capitano, El Presidente or something.
El Machine.
But they call him
El Machine.
That's it. The guy is a leader. He was at Ajax as well.
Yeah.
So this is a guy that should be okay. He's only been here, for a short period. But you've got to have someone that can impose themselves. 100%. Listen, I'm not going to delay anyone else that's calling. But the one last thing I will say is, unless there is a drastic change in the setup, personnel, and formation ahead of the Nottingham Forest game, this nightmare will continue on and on and on. And I'm not saying 6-0 every week. However, the heartache, the annoyance, the frustration, and the resentment will only grow and intensify as weeks progress, unless there is a drastic change in the starting 11 and the formation, and also the strategy that this Muppet is supposed to instill in the players. If he continues in the same light, which I've got no reason to doubt that he'll continue the same. This is a guy that doesn't make changes when you're losing 4-0, and he takes off Alvarez at halftime for a guy that's barely played for 2 years. You should have started with Phillips. Try and get some of your money back from the team that you've wanted this player. Try and get some money's worth out of him. Play him from the beginning. You don't need Souček and Wood-Prowse. They're passengers. So this is a guy that doesn't make changes, and we're expecting him sarcastically to make changes ahead of the Forest game. No way on earth. No way.
He's not going.
So for me, I can't subject myself. I can't take it anymore. Enough is enough. I thought that there'll be a drop off in the performances, as I said a few weeks ago, and unfortunately, I stick to that. I think we'll finish 10th, 12th, 13th, maybe, and we'll drop out in the next round of the European tournament, and then we'll have absolutely bugger all to show for the season. I hope that they've not given him a contract already, and that they're just not coming out and saying it because they're scared. I fear that they have. But even if they haven't, and they don't renew the bastard's contract at the end of the year, why are we being subjected to another 16, 17 or whatever game?
Exactly.
And you're blowing the season down the toilet, and you're going to have absolutely nothing to show for it. Never mind that we're going to need a rebuild. Never mind that we're going to need coaching rebuild. Never mind that we're going to have to try and hold on to Kudus, maybe Alvarez, maybe Paqueta if his court thing gets resolved. The team is going to go through a massive structural top to bottom clean out, and those never, ever, ever happen within a season. They take 5-7 years to start over before you start to see improvements.
I completely agree. And Corral, I've got one more thing to say before you go.
Please.
Don't stop watching the games, because we're going to get you on the show soon. So you're going to have to suffer, I'm afraid.
And you suffer the rest.
Give me a heads up.
You're going to have to suffer
it. Can I just say...
For you and for Mickey and for Gary, sure.
That's fine.
Can I just say one thing, Corral? I stayed until the bitter end today just to see what happened, and there was hardly anyone there left to boo. Let me show you. That was it.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
That's unbelievable. It is ridiculous. But Gary, I mean, I commend you for staying. I don't know how drunk you were, but I commend you for staying.
Not drunk. Not drunk.
I couldn't. I couldn't stand it. It was painful. And I'm glad that I didn't see Rice. I didn't see Rice's goal. I heard it was fantastic, but I'm glad I didn't see that either.
No, the defense parted like the Red Sea and give him a fucking clean shot on goal where Alvarez would have been and Phillips wasn't.
Yeah, no one attacked him. It was
absolutely.
good things, so it was a good goal.
That is brilliant. But anyway, Corral.
No, I heard it was, and credit where it's due. But I'm glad I didn't see it. All right, guys.
Cheers,
Thank you for having me on.
Top man.
Enjoy your evenings if you can. Bye, Mickey. Bye.
Do you know
Nick,
what?
have a quick look in the private chat, quick.
What private chat?
In the fucking StreamYard.
There's a private chat there.
I haven't got. You
called him the other week.
I haven't got. Send it to me.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake.
That's,
you know how many fucking WhatsApps and text messages I get?
I saw Chris over at football today.
Number up on there, so I'm literally fucking.
I saw Chris. I'm going to put it in the private chat, right? I'm going to put it in the private chat, yeah.
Especially when they're going together, he's fucking.
I've got 3 more, so that's 4 more, and that is it. Right, so there's 4 more calls. Literally, thank you everyone for sticking with us tonight as well, honestly. And you know what? I didn't think I was going to start feeling better throughout the show, but I actually am. I am.
We always do when we do this show. Like I was saying earlier on, even as much, it don't get much worse than 6-0 drubbing, right? But we sort of kind of, not just us 3, but even the chatting that we all lift each other up.
Yeah, we did a chat. They're always uplifting. Yeah.
So he's been great for that.
I actually felt fucking depressed earlier. I did. Football shouldn't get you like that.
I did, Chris, who I just mentioned, right? I saw him and his son on the way out today. He looked like, he looked like he'd seen a ghost.
Hello, Frankie.
How are you, mate?
I'm very well, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. All good.
I'm good.
Frankie.
Yeah, I don't know what you can add after Corral there because I wouldn't want to follow Corral, but but yeah, he's mate. How bad was that today? Honestly, come on, that was fucking just soul destroying, wasn't it?
I was so angry, mate. I was physically shaking with anger. It was just awful, and I didn't go. I'll be completely honest, and I feel right ashamed that I didn't. But my body's he got into an academy of a football team. He had his first ever sort of trial matches of to sort of assess where they are and what their levels are. So he had that on Saturday, and he played an hour and 40 minutes of football, and he was shattered. And I sort of looked at him and I thought, normally I'd drag him over there, and I'd already go, come on, no, we're going. And I looked at him and I thought, I can't do it to you. I thought, I know what's coming.
Yeah, but the thing is, you say you feel guilty. Do you not feel a sense of relief after watching that game? You didn't go.
No, I don't. No, because I've been there, and I've actually had some of the best times I've had as a West Ham fan has been when we're like successful or we're doing well or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Some of the best times I've had was some of the seasons in the Championship, and I've had some fantastic times where even being bottom of the league, going Chelsea away and beating them 3-2 and stuff like that. There's some memorable games there. There almost used to be something I loved about, the team that we never expect us to get anything, but we'd turn up and we'd roll someone over. And I used to love it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I knew when we had the cup game, I said to everyone, we've got to get over there. I know we're going to win tonight. I know we're winning tonight. We get over there. We have a big night out. And I knew it was coming, but today, I just looked, I said to him, I just think this is going to be a cricket score. I said, this is just going to be a nightmare. My dad phoned me up, said, you two coming over? I said, look, I don't think I can face it. And he's dragged himself over there and managed to make the effort, and I haven't gone. And so I feel guilty. I think you should always back them, and especially when times are hard, you've got to get behind them. And I do mean, but today I just looked at it and I looked at the boy and I just thought, you know what, I can't do it to you. But watching it on telly was just, I was so angry, mate, so angry, so peed off. Literally physically shaking with anger just at how bad it was and how atrocious it was. And do you know what? The anger was also stemming from the fact that's mine and my boys' thing that we do. I love football, right? I love it. And it's what my dad done with me. From a very young age, my dad took me to West Ham, 2 years old, and it was the relationship I had with my dad was through football. And I love it, and I love every bit of it. And I can take my boy to Ebbsfleet, Dartford, Maidstone, Bromley, wherever we go to watch football, and he'll sit there for 2 hours, right? And he'll watch every second of the match and be totally enamoured by what's going on. He loves football. I take him West Ham now. He ain't interested in it one little bit. He lasts 15 minutes. He wants to get out of there. We don't have the ball. There's nothing exciting going on. We don't. It's been slightly improved with Paqueta and Kudus, because before he never even had like a hero to look up to. Last year, I don't think we had many standout attacking players that excited the youngsters. Do you know what I mean? But this year, we all of a sudden he's got Kudus. When Ward-Prowse come for you, he first he quite liked him because it was he takes free kicks and he does this and he does that, and that's gone downhill fast. So yeah, I was just gutted that the thing we do together, he's lost interest in. And it's quite sad, do you know what I mean?
Mate, we all get it. It's like John said the same thing. So John's boys in the Leighton Orient Academy was football fucking mad, Freddie. Absolutely football mad. Been going over West Ham since before we could walk. Over at Upton Park. Same as my boys, exactly the same, but they're a little bit older. And he said it breaks his heart, John. Like literally from the second half onwards, his son is looking at him now saying, Dad, can we go? Dad, can we go? And this is a kid that gets football, understands football, gets coached by top level coaches all the time and stuff like that. And he must be watching this and going, fucking hell. And it's the same with my boy Ben. When we go over there, it's good now because we don't go every game now. So I suppose we go to about 15 to 20 games a season. We pick and choose home and away. That's what we do. And it makes it a little bit better because you're not going to every game. But with Ben now, it's the same thing. With Ben now, it's the same thing. He's kind of like, this is just hard work. And when it comes to watching it on telly, Frankie, which really upsets me, it was always my thing. Even when you're watching it at home, like earlier on, it got to the first half. He said, Dad, I can't watch the rest of it, so I'm watching the rest of it on my own. But
that's the sad thing. Like most people know the story of me with the Sam Allardyce days.
Yeah.
Me and my dad couldn't go there. And when that one weekend, when I said to my dad, "Look, it's been boring, do you mind us leaving it?" We didn't. My dad passed away the next day. Now, what I'm saying is, but that's happening again in the sense that people just don't want to go over there, and it's robbing people
away from us. It's been taken away from us.
It has been taken away from us. That's what I'm saying to you. So it would have probably been in the same boat had it had been under Moyes. You know what I mean? We wouldn't want to go over there because it's boring to watch.
Yeah.
People don't realise, or like the Sullivan, they just don't care that he's taking away that possibility of, you never know, you might never go again with your dad or your son or something. You never know, and it's bollocks.
No, and it is unfair, and sort of going back to that point as well, Frankie. It's fucking it's like you. I've been watching you for years because you've done loads of channels. You've been on YouTube quite a lot as well over the years, like you and Baz, what you used to do. I remember stuff like you're a little bit like me. You're kind of a prophet. You watch football with your eyes, like I do. You're the same thing. You're not. That's what you do. Like me, you called Souček out at a very early stage, even when he was doing good. I did the same fucking thing. And you've been calling Moyes out really from day one to a degree, and you're quite objective with the way that you see things. You're not unfair. You don't tantrum, but you see things for what they are, and you're honest. And we've all seen this coming for a long time, haven't we?
A long time, and don't think anything's really changed. It's all the same, but we're just starting to get what we deserve. That's the point.
Absolutely right.
Exactly.
Yeah, by the way, right, I played the wrong...
Hang on, Gal. Go on, Frank.
Sorry, Frank, go on.
Go on, mate, go on.
Look, listen, I played the wrong video earlier for the booing. This was the actual booing at the end, right? Half a dozen people in the room made that noise.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Frankie.
I know. Go on, Frankie. Sorry, mate.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, going back to sort of the game and how it all sort of panned out. And we have called out Souček, and it's mad, isn't it? It's a mad world because on YouTube and social media, because when he first came, I sort of was the one turning around sort of saying, look, he's really limited as a footballer. I'm not saying that he's not effective. I'm not saying that he isn't getting us goals, but as a footballer, he's really, really limited. You're out of order. I can't believe you're saying that. The pelters we got for calling out Souček was unbelievable. he's going to be a 10 to 15 goal a season midfielder. We ain't had one of them in years.
I got booted out of Facebook groups for that, didn't I, Gal?
He did. He literally got booted out. Yeah, that's why we started. We started this channel. We started this channel because Nick had nowhere to go on social media. He was fucking banned everywhere.
I was the same on Facebook.
They were like, get out my social media.
I'm actually worse in typed word than I am like when I talk. So it's probably
yeah. That's true to say. Yeah.
You do look at the coaching element of it, right? And you look at that first goal today. Souček has been told to stand on the front post. That's where he's been told to stand. That comes from the coaches. The coaches have told him, your position from this corner, we want you to stand on the post. So our biggest player, who's the best in the air, you just stand on that post. Then their two biggest aerial threats in Gabriel and Saliba, put Emerson and Alvarez on them two. And you just sit there and you just think, who's come up with the idea that Emerson should go up and try and mark Saliba and Souček should just stand on the post? It makes no sense whatsoever.
This is what we were saying earlier on, Frankie, right? With anyone that's watched any football this year, right, you know that Arsenal have scored the most set piece goals from corners in the league, and they always attack heavily from the back post. And I said to Corral just now, it seems like everyone knows that except West Ham.
Yeah. But it's weird because when you go over there and you sit behind the dugout, they have a lot of instructions from set pieces. When you sit behind the dugout, Nolan sort of stands up and screams at them, and you go here and you go there. So it's not something that they ignore. They clearly work quite heavily on it because you watch them screaming instructions for every individual set piece. But for whatever reason, if they think that was the way it's set up, I just don't understand it. And coming out of a window where you have an opportunity to bring players in, and then to have Benjamin, your right back, who literally can't even get into the position of his own position because he ain't good enough.
No,
you've got to start him on the left wing is an absolute insult to all our playing fans and everyone who supports West Ham. It's absolutely disgusting that you think you could not spend a penny and allow a right back to be playing at left wing within the next couple of games without any injury concern.
Can I just point out the obvious, Frankie? We had a left winger on the bench.
Oh,
well, he clearly.
What must call but the thing is, right? It's all well and good having your Calvin Phillips, your Calvin Phillips who's coming. Geezer ain't played for 2 years. He needs to be played into form. Yeah. We've got the same with Cornet. He probably needs a good 3, 4, 5 games to actually sort of get him into some sort of form. Will he do it though? Will he? Fuck. He won't do it.
I don't think Phillips is interested.
I'm not sure he's good enough.
No, but he's all we've got at the moment, Frankie.
Yeah, no, he is. Well, I mean, he's got an abundance of. Well, we thought we had an abundance of midfielders, but he still manages to just play people out of position all the time, thinking he's going. I don't know whether he thinks he's going to try something clever or whether he wants to look like he's a genius doing what he does. But it don't make any sense to me whatsoever. That Man United game, it was all stemming from that, and that whole thing that everyone said the first half was better. The first half was no better. Ten Hag played an absolute masterstroke. He knew that when we've got the ball, we ain't got a clue what to do with it. He knows the only way we play football is by literally not having the ball and trying to counter-attack other teams. Yep. That's what we do. And he knows when we've got the ball, we ain't got to. And that's why when Emerson bombed down the left-hand side and got a bit of open space, he didn't know, am I passing here? Am I shooting? What the bloody hell am I going to do here? He didn't have a clue what he was going to do.
He had nothing to say, did he? With what Ten Hag did there? Nothing at all.
But don't for anyone think Moyes did tactics to change that. He didn't. Ten Hag actually went, you have the ball. That's why we had more possession.
I said the same thing. I mean? He out West Ham'd West Ham. That's kind of what he did. He literally. It's quite clear we don't know what to do with the fucking ball. So I basically said, "Go on, have it."
Your turn.
There you
go. What he did.
Yeah, go on.
It's exactly what he did.
And also, like we've conceded 9 goals now in 2 games without reply. How mental is it? It goes back to the Einstein theory, which isn't really Einstein, which is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is a definition of madness. But it is true. He played the same team that hemorrhaged 3 goals against Man United.
Because he was pleased with the 3-0.
Who were a better team. What did he think was going to happen, Frankie?
Yeah, no, it don't make no sense. I don't know, Mavropanos, we all know he's made mistakes, and we all know he hasn't looked, he's not looked great.
Yeah.
But he still, when we played Arsenal, he still had an unbelievable game. He got a goal. He looked pretty solid. He looked like he had a point to prove.
Yeah.
For me, I can't really understand why he hasn't started there.
Alongside Oggy as well. Who, if you'd have given Oggy a run, he might have got his fitness back because he played well that night, right? But both dumped out the team for his first choice. Zuma, who's got no knees, is somehow the captain, and he's not a leader, right?
I can't understand.
Yeah.
Joe, I can't understand that. How a player who's always going to be in and out the team, how you pick them to be your captain, I can't understand.
Squad seniority. He's obviously a really nice chap. Loves the baby Jesus and all that, right? Oh no, he don't. He's a Muslim, isn't he?
Fucking drives you mad. It drives you mad.
Melissa Yeboah got it right just now. She said Phillips was unneeded. The last thing we needed in that team was another fucking CDM.
Oh, look. Don't get me wrong. I would have taken Phillips in addition to the other positions that we needed. I wouldn't have moaned
as a backup or a replacement for Souček or a backup for Alvarez. Yeah.
I wouldn't have moaned. But to come into a window where we was quite obviously blatantly weak and thin, and
we didn't need it.
To only recruit Phillips and to weaken ourselves by getting rid of our whole left side, knowing that Paqueta was out injured for God knows how long, was fucking mental, Frankie.
Yeah.
But like I said, anyway, bad signing. Sorry, Frankie. It was such a bad signing in like how it was and the timing of it. You don't get a player who hasn't played regularly for 2 seasons and you get him on loan in a January transfer window and hope that he hits the ground running. Like Moyes said, we thought he might have been Premier League ready, but look at it. Of course, he weren't fucking. Don't take a genius to know he weren't going to be Premier League ready. And he's not played it. Let's be fucking fair. And like I said, he probably will hit form. He's a good player, so he probably will hit form in about 2 to 3 months' time when he's got 3 weeks left and he'll be going back to City.
No. What we're doing is we're building. We're paying for the privilege to get Phillips back to speed so that Man City can sell him up.
We're trying him to be lovely and fit by the time we send him back. Lovely and fit. He's that what Moyes said. Moyes' words as to why he was brought in. It's very important to bring in a player, a top player from a big club, to show the other players that we mean business. It was supposed to have the Lingard effect, as if it's the same squad. This squad contains fucking Paqueta.
That's a fucking piss
Alvarez. It contains Emerson, who's won every trophy known to man and played for the biggest clubs, right? They ain't going to be blown away by Calvin Phillips, Dave.
No, they're not. They're not. But anyway, Frankie, wrapping this call up, mate, because we've got 2 more to get to, 3 more now after this one. So what are your final thoughts on this situation at the moment?
Just the biggest thing that I've seen today is the blame's tried to be put at the players. I've seen so many people wanting to blame the players. At the end of the day, if you're going to be, as a Ben Johnson example, you play right back, mate. Right now, you play left back, mate. Right now, you play centre back. Right now, you play central midfield. Now, what I'm going to do is leave you out the squad for about a season and let your career rot. Today, hang on a minute, Ben Johnson. I tell you what you're going to do today, son. Chuck you out on the left wing, get out there and give it your all. Yeah, go on, as if you're going to do that. And I tell you what, if he's a popular character, which I think he is, because he's quite a nice guy, do you know how much that will upset other people who are his mates and everything else, and how much that will piss people off? And everyone then blaming Emerson for his poor performance today when he's got a right back in front of him at left wing, and they're trying to double up on Saka, one of the best right wings in the league. It's madness, mate, how people can blame this. Though that team was hung out to dry today, that nothing to do with players. That was a manager and how he set it up. It was everything to do with a manager of why we got absolutely ironed out today. Nothing else. And it needs to stop now. Enough's enough. Before we're totally dead and buried and we drop like a stone, and all of a sudden all this talent we've ended up with runs out the door as quickly as they can. Something has got to happen about it, mate. It's enough's enough.
100%, mate. Frankie, great call, mate. Thank you very much.
Frankie.
Nice one, Frankie.
Cheers, mate, Frankie.
Cheers, bye. And I've been saying that all season, right? And that's why a lot of people say, "Oh, you go easy on the players," right? And I'll go easy on the players because my take is that when we play this way and it goes wrong, the players are being hung out to dry. People say, "Well,
great comment, by the way.
When you cross that white line, it's on the players." You need to fucking. This is top level, elite level, that the highest level of football that you can get, right? The highest level of football. If you are set up tactically inferior to the opposition, you're off to a fucking losing start before you even get going.
Yeah.
You really are. So no, I don't blame
Right.
the players in this. I don't.
Cameron, well, listen, we've got 3 more calls. We need to start wrapping these up quickly because we're nearly up to 3 hours. Go on, Nick.
All right. Okay, go. 1 minute.
It's nothing. Me and Nick done a 3-hour, 45-minute session.
Yeah,
Fuck you two. I don't care. It's not my style, Mickey. It's not my style.
Gary,
You do
Gary,
4
Gary,
hours,
Gary
5
can
hours, up to
fucking-
you.
Gary can sit there and vegetate. It's fine. It'd be all right. 1 minute.
You've got the cup door to come next. Oh, no, wait,
I
sorry.
got no work this week. I'm off.
Oh, you
Right.
off?
But I just don't want to be up all night. That's all. Shit to
That's
do.
all right. 631. Gary, we're going to go for all the calls. Right, here we go.
Well, that's lad.
Hang on.
Hello.
Hello, is that Chris?
Speaking.
This is Welcome to Clarendon Blues. You're speaking to Nick.
This is a therapy line, Chris. Therapy.
Hello.
This is Samaritans.
How you doing?
Samaritans. How are you?
Oh, don't.
Really simple. How are you doing?
I don't even have the words. I don't think, to be honest with you. I'm.
Mate,
how you doing anyway? How you guys?
We're all good. You'll have the words once you get going, mate. We all do.
Yeah.
But it's I don't really know how to put it into words, the situation that we're in. I mean, I know what we saw today, but perhaps more damning is the fact that we know that nothing's going to happen, Chris. He's still going to be here.
I hope not. I saw Gary at the end of the game, and I said, hopefully this is going to be it. But I think your response, Gary, was, that's not going to happen, right? And it probably won't.
Yeah.
But, do you know, the only way I can describe kind of going to, I don't know what it is. I think it's like, I only seem to come on your channel when we can at least lose by 5 goals or more. I don't know if that's like the default setting for me to jump on and talk to you guys.
That's your
like,
threshold. That's your breaking point, obviously.
It is. Hopefully there won't be too many more of these, but you never know. But I kind of feel like watching West Ham at the minute is a bit like having a really, really shit day at work. When you come home, you're exhausted, you've got a headache, you're stressed out.
Bang on.
And the worst thing about it is I'm paying for this shit every fucking day.
You ain't even earning out of it. You're earning
the funny farm.
Yeah. It's like
I need to go to the funny farm. It's ludicrous, isn't it?
it's literally like one of those blokes who pays for some woman to flog him. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
one of them.
to basically kick him in the bollocks with stilettos on.
Yeah, humiliate him.
I think that would be more satisfying. I think that would be more satisfying than watching this shit. Do you know what I mean? Unbelievable. Do you know, like at half time today, obviously I was just absolutely fed up with the first half. I queued up to go for a piss in the toilet, and I got talking to a guy as I was queuing up, and I just turned around to him. I said, "This is awful, isn't it? This is absolutely fucking tragic." And he turned and goes, "Oh yeah, it is." And I said to him, "So what, you Moyes out, obviously, yeah?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "I'm Moyes in." And I couldn't believe it. I said, "How can you be Moyes in?" I'm like, I don't. What
Please
are you seeing that I'm not?
Please explain.
But the explanation is, as it always is with most of these Moyes people, because they've been Moyes just as much as Pablo Fornal.
They have.
They've all been Moyes, right? And it's most successful manager in the last 50 years, 6th, 7th, and, Europa Conference League trophy, this, that. But he spent over £500 million in the last 3 years, right? I'm sorry, there's no excuse for the football, right? We should be, by default of the amount of money we've spent and the players and the quality we have in that team, we should be in the top 10. I'm sorry, we should top 8, we should absolutely be there. So what is he doing that any other half-decent manager couldn't do with that squad of players? This is the issue. I can't stand it anymore.
Sullivan's response. So when I speak to Sean, and don't get me wrong, Sean winds me the fuck up because he gives me the official line. So Sean doesn't lie. He tells you what they tell you. So Sean asked the question: Is he going to go? And Sullivan's response is no. This was a few games ago. No, it's too much of a risk to sack him now. Too much of a risk. In case we get battered 6-0. Battered 6-0.
Yeah. Would it not be more of a risk? Would it not be more of a risk to hang on to him right now? Because even the Moyes people are slowly turning into Moyes out, I think. I mean, I've noticed on social media tonight, there seems to be a lot of people suddenly, do you know what? I think I'm going to be Moyes out now. But I think it's only going to get worse. And, hypothetically, if we lose against Forest and we lose, 1 or 2 of the next 3 or 4 games coming up, I'm sorry, but it's not acceptable. It's not. It's beyond acceptable. I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm absolutely sick and tired of it. I can't stand him anymore. I can't handle seeing that prick in the dugout. I can't bear seeing his pre-match interviews or his bullshit Q&As. You know, I want him out, and he's fucking dry pie mash about his liquor. He can fuck off.
I mean, that for me, that is a sackable offence in itself. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely,
It is.
absolutely.
Fucking dry
I
pie
think
mash.
whoever's creating these
Tells
videos
you a
should
lot
be
about
sacked.
someone.
Whoever's
Like
creating these
Trey.
videos should be sacked. What's it all about?
Yeah.
You'd rather him. You'd rather him. You'd
Chris.
rather him have the liquor on and then try it and go, I don't like it. You'd rather him do that.
Yeah,
than have
yeah,
no
yeah,
liquor
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
Even
He
Pablo,
bottled it. He played safe.
Pablo done it properly. He went full
Yeah.
in. Went full in with the pie mash and
You
liquor.
got to with the vinegar and the fucking pepper.
Chris, when you had this heated argument with this guy heading into the urinals, it wasn't at the urinals, was it? You weren't both pissing at the time.
No.
Was you having a sword fight?
That could have ended messy.
Get off the channel, Ralph.
Oh my God, no. It didn't get that far. But you know, I tell you what did happen though. The queue was so damn long, and I was getting fed up with talking to him. I didn't bother going to the toilet. I went back to my seat and held it in till the end of the game. I could honestly.
Trying to go and piss and see West Ham get slaughtered. Yeah.
It changed. I don't know what happened, but it didn't. It made me not want to go to the toilet. It was just like I can't stand here anymore.
Like an episode of Gladiators where they're swinging their bellends at each other, trying to knock each other off the.
I think you've done the wrong thing, to be fair to you, because it sounds, and this is not a right thing I would say, but it sounded more entertaining queuing up to be in the toilet than it did watching that shit.
Yeah, it was. It's a highlight of his day.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and
it really is.
You know, I kind of go. I look at the way we play football, and as you know, Gary, I go with my son, and for me, and for a lot of fathers who take their kids or daughters, whatever it's going to be, you know, it's a big thing to go to West Ham, right? It's a bonding thing, right? It's something that we all do as kids with our parents, our grandparents. We've all done it before, right? And I'll tell you, the worst thing about it is that I have such fond memories, as I know you guys do as well. I know you've gone with your dad and your families and stuff.
That's what it's all about.
Watch West Ham as youngsters. It is, and the sad thing about it is this, right? I look back on my memories that I had, and it was predominantly with my granddad, and I'll never forget those, right? Now, we didn't win loads of games, but do you know what? I really looked forward to those games. I was typically entertained most of the time. I was always excited about going to games.
Yeah.
And I look at my son and I think, are you excited about this? Because I'm worried if my son, if he's excited for this football, because I'm definitely not. And I would assume that most people aren't excited to watch West Ham play at the moment, unless there's a moment of brilliance from one player. But I'm sorry, that's not enough. I want to see it going.
Sorry,
we don't do that.
I'm going to interrupt you there, right? Because do you know what I think it is? And this is a real heartbreaking thing, right? I think for us, fair enough. We do it as a sense of duty because it's what we've always done, and when things are rough, you go over there anyway and you go through the motions. But like you just said, when your memories from when you was a child, you looked forward to going to football no matter what. You know, when you was a kid, it was brilliant. It was wonderful. I actually feel like the kids are doing it as a sense of duty to their parents now. I think that's what it is. I think if you offered them the opportunity to go Top Golf or West Ham, they'd probably choose Top Golf now.
I don't know because it's not so long ago. I mean, my kids, my two older boys.
Right now with a lot of them, I think it is. I do feel like that.
But my two older boys, Ross and Reese, I started taking them in the Kirbishley era, right? And cheers, Steve. And even in the Kirbishley era, they really liked it. Ross and Reese, I mean, Adam didn't. He was only interested in hot dog, right? But the second season I took them was the Tevez season. What better season could you get, right? So that's probably what got them hooked, right? But it was just nice. It was nice. We attacked. Even under Kirbishley, first priority was to try and win the game. The second priority was to shut up shop, right? So, but we did try to win the game before we shut up shop.
Bang on. Oh, by the way, can I just say something? Charlie's the Moyes out flag man. He phoned him before, right?
Oh, Charlie, yeah.
He said higher up in the chat, and he's told me on Messenger, the flag is coming out. At Nottingham Forest.
Good. I wonder what that's brilliant, Charlie. I wonder what the rules are for taking it. I tried to Google it earlier. The actual rules, the laws about taking a banner into the ground. Apparently, you're allowed to do it as long as it's below 24 inches by 24 inches, like it's a personal banner. And as long as
they're not as bothered in away ends, it's home ends. They're trying to control the narrative. At West Ham, it's censorship. Like he said,
You've got freedom of expression and freedom of speech, right? You've still got those in this country, right? So
you're not allowed in there.
As long as it's not offensive, right? And Moyes out is not offensive. It's only offensive to one man.
Yeah.
You know? So fuck him. I mean, you can't have one person taking offence. Go on, Chris.
It's probably that hard to get a flag into the games, though, because, I mean, you see loads of the kids up with their flags and stuff, right? So, I mean, we just need to get on it and start these Moyes out banners and flags going, because...
Yeah, we do.
Surely it can't be that hard to bring a flag in there. It can't be.
We could. You could start a different movement. We could all start putting out a fucking yellow t-shirt movement. Yellow t-shirt for fucking Moyes out or something. Gary be right. He's all set. Look,
what, yellow for piss poor? Is that what you're saying?
or brown for shit.
Brown for shit.
Well, that'd be brilliant. Actually, that's a really good idea. Wear a certain colour.
Yeah,
brown and yellow piss.
To indicate that you're Moyes out.
They can't do that. Sorry, you've got a yellow shirt. You can't come in.
That's offensive.
What are you talking about, mate? It's well flew in.
I think, you know, I think with Moyes, there's some. It's not. This is the worst thing about it now is that it's every little thing about that guy that annoys me. There's nothing that is endearing, or he's got no qualities at all. A human being, right? It's just ridiculous. And it's even little things that sometimes annoy me. I listened to an interview with him, and he talks about some of the players, and he can't even say some of the players' names correctly. So what must I think about him? I mean, I'm sure I've heard him call Naif Agued Nathan.
He's called Nathan.
Agard. How lazy is that? How lazy is that?
Oh, it's unreal. I mean? It's almost like
disrespectful.
The worst thing about it is, yeah, but it's disrespectful. But the people that are asking questions, they might say, "Oh, Naif Agued, what do you think of him?" He goes, "Yeah, Nathan Agard." It's like it's almost like, do you know? No, I know that's his name, but I'm not going to call him that.
This is a guy that is perfectly fluent in Spanish, isn't he, Gary?
Yeah. I've played him una, dos, cuatro times. What a tip.
Fucking hell.
Who's me, Cookie?
He is. But anyway, mate. So look, we're gonna try and rattle through these last few calls quickly. Give me your closing thoughts on this situation. How you feeling and what you think is going to happen?
Well, I think is going to happen. What I want to happen is probably two different things. I mean, I think a lot of it depends on how we do against in the next couple of games. Actually, I think. I mean, hypothetically, if it's to lose the next couple of games, I mean that could really, really push Sullivan to say, we can't make this. We can't give him a contract now. I mean, but then obviously, conversely, I don't want us to lose games. But if it means that fucker being out, then I'm kind of thinking like I would, and that's I can't even believe I'm saying it.
But this is the thing. I said this earlier on, and do you know something? If you say that, like me particularly, because my face is out there, or Gary, it will get clipped and it will get used against you later on.
Yeah.
The situation that we're in now, I said earlier on stream, don't get me wrong, I put a bet on West Ham to win earlier because it was 6-1. I thought great value. You know, I actually, because the thing is, you never know. Against a team like Arsenal, they could have an off day. You know, we could do what we did to them twice before this season. So you always fucking, don't matter how frustrated you are when it comes to it, you always want West Ham to win. But I'll be honest with you, I was so fucked off earlier at 6-0. I thought, you know what, make it fucking 10, get the job done, hammer the fucking nails in the coffin, hammer the nails in the coffin, get the fucker out.
Yeah. Someone was saying the same thing to me, and I totally agreed. Honestly, I was actually hoping that they would score a few more. I couldn't believe it. I don't even know when I left. The whole thing's a blur to me, to be honest with you. But I just had enough, and I very rarely will ever leave a game that. I've never left a game that early. Actually, I think it was at least 15 or 16 minutes before the whistle went.
You weren't that far from the end.
Was I don't know. I think I was quite. I think it was still the 70-something minute. I'm sure it must have been. I just had enough of it.
I didn't think it was that late. I thought it was 80 something. Yeah, but anyway, I'll take your word for it.
Sorry, E. Davis. It says Moyes likes it dry. His poor wife. I'll be honest with you, E. Davis. I reckon he's only ever had it dry. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
So yes. So anyway,
he won't get sacked. He won't get sacked. I don't see it happening. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be here for. He's still going to be here for a little while yet. Unfortunately, we're still going to have to put up with shit crap football. Yeah. And we're still going to be fucking pissed and fuming every weekend. You know, that's just the way it is. We just have to accept it. But I'm just losing the passion. I'm losing it so bad right now that I don't even want to go to games. And I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I don't.
Do you know what, mate? I'm going to say this to you. Like I said to Corral earlier on, it's tough shit because we need you on here as well. Let's battle through to the end of the season. We've got to keep doing it.
Hopefully, one thing I will say, just sorry to interject, one thing I'll say, Nick, just very quickly, sorry to interject, on Thursday, I was watching the Bournemouth game, and I was literally about 10 yards away from Sullivan, and there was a West Ham fan that came over, and he just shouted up to me, goes, "Oi, you you've got no striker, why don't you sign a fucking striker?" This was on deadline day. And I just turned around, I see him, he's smiling at him. He just does not give a shit. So again, just to emphasise what you guys have already said, does not give a shit about the fans.
Well, like I said, I'm not gonna name but you can guess the conversation I've had, and he's confirmed when I was talking about the story that came out that David Moyes might not sign a contract because of fan discontent. He basically said, Moyes doesn't give a fuck about the fans.
Of course he don't.
Doesn't care. Does not care about the fans at all.
Thanks for having us on, gents. Appreciate it.
No,
I hope you've calmed down a bit, got it out of your system.
Yeah, and I hope you have a better experience at the toilets the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Right. Right, 2 to go, people. 2 to go. Right, here we go.
2 for the last 5 callers.
We'll
You see that? Craven's just put on now. Next week, Chris Wood's back from injury.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, we're fucked. We're fucked.
I don't even want it to get to that though,
He's
Gary.
like the modern day Lukaku, isn't he?
I don't want to have to. I don't. Why have we got to see if he? Why have we got to wait that long?
Because Sullivan got it right last year, according to him, even though he got it wrong.
Oh.
So he's proved it. So now he got to prove it again.
Oh, look, Cookie's at it again. Well done, Cookie.
Oh, Cookie, well done, Cookie. Thank you very much.
Hey, Cookie.
Good man. Pew pew. Even though you slaughtered me out.
Hello, is that Lawrence?
Turn your telly off, Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence. Turn your volume down, please, mate. If that's all right. I can hear myself, and I'm really fucking annoying.
He does annoy himself. He'd have an argument in a room on his own.
Yeah, you need to calm down, mate.
Go on then. Come on then. Are we going to get a balanced one? Go on then.
No, definitely no balanced one.
Go on,
good show tonight. Definitely some good callers, really.
Go on, mate.
Looking at Moyes today, he just looked clueless, didn't he? Like every time a goal went in, the camera zoomed over to him, and he's just like, he just looked grey and clueless.
Yeah.
He done a little bit of hand waving, but not as much as he normally does.
His hands went fucking ballistic.
I don't remember him standing up, though, do you? He normally stands up and starts waving around, look like he's making some sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, go back!
Air traffic control.
He goes. The canoe's running up the wing. Get back!
It's got Caduce on a bit of elastic connected to Sufal.
But he's definitely no tactical genius, because Johnson on the left wing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, right? With what this amounts to, I can only imagine that probably. This is what I think. I do believe that Moyes has probably been mandated to give Johnson minutes because we're trying to get him to sign a contract in February. I do think that's what's happened. He won't drop Sufal for it, though. So he hasn't given him a place. He's a gap filler at our spare left wing position, right? That isn't giving fucking Johnson a run in the team. And he just refuses to drop Sufal, who needs to be dropped to get Johnson in. Now, Johnson, Sufal's been a great player for us, but in my opinion, give Johnson a run of games. He's going to be far superior to Sufal.
I'm not being funny. I'm sorry.
Go on, man. No, go on.
Look, I'm no tactical genius, but Johnson, he's 2-footed, so play him left back if you want. Emerson's better going forward. Play Emerson on the wing.
Yeah, I would do that as well. Why not? The thing is, you had
all
these.
If you have to.
But you had all these Skulls on there today. All these Skulls he's an attacking left wing back. You could play him at left wing. Is he worried that a kid's going to come on and do well?
Fucking good player as well. What
is he worried about?
But do you know the whole Emerson thing is more to do with the fact that Emerson is so left-footed. So you can't play him on the left wing because he can't cut inside.
Well, he can't be a false winger, can he? As he likes to be. But no, it's so demoralising, mate. It really is. I'm fucking depressed now with it. And the most depressing thing is that even that today, and even if we'd have got beat 10-0, he wouldn't be going. They're not going to get rid of him. They're not.
Of course they won't. Sullivan, don't give a toss.
We had these similar emotions last season. The same emotions.
We said at the beginning of the season. Now, whether he goes in the summer or not is irrelevant, right? We said at the beginning of the season that this would be like Allardyce's last season, where and probably start off. You know, we've done much better in the first half than expected, but the fixtures were for us. But if we were safe by Christmas, Sullivan wouldn't spend a fucking penny, right? He done even better than that because we're almost safe mathematically. He's actually sold players.
Yeah, you can't believe he's fortunate, can he?
Yeah. This is just Sullivan doing a Sullivan, I'm afraid. This is exactly what he done with Allardyce. He has never changed.
I don't know.
Do you know what, though? I kind of like... I said it in the comments earlier, but the thing that annoys the shit out of me more than anything is that final Pellegrini season. Pellegrini was like so unlucky with the old Roberto thing.
It was Roberto that got him sacked, I think, in the end.
Yeah, but he was... Well, I don't think it was, but... Are you still there?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Roberto thing was shit, weren't it? And I think, do you guys think that if they'd have stuck with him, Fab's got, fit again, I think he would have kept us up.
Oh, mate.
And I think he might have.
Definitely.
David Moyes said earlier on, saved them from relegation twice. In his press conference, right? Now, listen.
Bullshit.
Pellegrini was in 17th place. We wasn't in the relegation zone. We had 19 points when Pellegrini went. All David Moyes achieved was 19 points in the second 19 games.
Yeah, and probably Bilic would have kept us up, and probably Pellegrini would have kept us up. Right? Yeah. There you go.
But
I think he would have.
I'll tell you what. Going back to this, was what Charlie says here. He says this I completely fucking agree with, right? Because the January window was a disgrace. So the only thing
was the worst one ever.
The only reason that I can think logically that they have done what they have done is because they're clearing the decks and they're stockpiling money for the summer when Moyes goes and they're getting someone else in and it's a blank canvas. However, if they always planned to keep David Moyes and he's their man, then that January transfer window is the biggest fucking disgrace I've ever seen in my life. And if David Moyes was to sign a deal after that, the guy has even less self-respect than I fucking even thought, because he's been hung out to dry to a degree, even though he's probably happy with his small squad. I reckon he's happy with it because he ain't got the pressure of dropping players.
Can you remember that game when I can't remember the final score. I think it might have been 3-1 against Man United.
Yeah.
And Felipe Anderson was like immense. Like Pellegrini as manager.
He was a great player once, Anderson. I love watching him.
Always saying. Yeah, and like you guys are always saying, I think that might have been a season. That might have been the season when we signed Pablo.
Yeah.
He was good in that game as well.
Look,
Lanzini looked good.
Mate. I'm not being funny. When you look at the squad, I know we've got Paqueta and we've got Kudus now, right? But when you look at the squad that Moyes walked into, you had our backup players were like Yarmolenko and players like that. We had Lanzini, we had Fornals, we had fucking Haller, we had I'm not being funny. We've spent 500 million. I don't think this squad's any further along or better than what it was when Moyes came in.
I'll totally agree.
We've got a Paqueta, basically. That's what we've got. But
I think someone said we've got like 5 good players. We've got 5 genuinely good players at the moment for 500 million.
Game when we beat Man United 3-1, where I think we had like Felipe Anderson on the left. We had Yarmolenko on the right, and that was before he got that Achilles injury. Was it Achilles or was it?
It was Achilles.
Anyway, we looked amazing.
It was brilliant before he got injured.
Oh, let's bring Moyes in. Because fucking Roberto gets injured.
They couldn't fucking wait to get rid of him. And do you know what that smacks of, right? Because what they've got now, this is why they've always gone for failing managers. Jonathan, who's in the chat at the moment, new member, courtesy of Cookie. He literally laid out the journey of manager appointments under David Sullivan's time at West Ham. And every single manager appointment has been a failing manager on the way down, a freebie. people are going to be grateful for their position. People are not going to complain too much. Well, do you know what? As much as people want to talk about Pellegrini, who's doing very well for Betis now, by the way.
Yeah, strange that.
He went to China to make a bit of money. He came back. He came over here. We gave him a load of money that he did spend with. But managers like Pellegrini, he is a top manager. But if you want them to progress and everything else, you have to keep investing. You've got to. You can't just do it in one window. They did it in one window. And I reckon what happened with Pellegrini was, I think he just learned, Pellegrini, what this was all about. And I think he got challenged. I think Pellegrini challenged him. You can't have that with Sullivan. Whereas with Moyes won't do that. Moyes is like a fucking little puppy who's just grateful for his job at West Ham because he ain't getting another one.
Little bitch.
I make you right though, because have you heard the whole thing where they reckon that all the sort of Moyes in brigade are always going on about the reason it failed is because Pellegrini, even though he's won titles everywhere he's been, the reason he was just coming back for a few quid kind of thing. That's bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's gone on to like Betis and he's doing all right. Just bullshit. I know he's old.
Yeah, he's a decent manager. He knows his football. I'll tell you what, right? If it wasn't for Pellegrini, Declan Rice's career wouldn't be where it was. He was the one who put him into central midfield and stuck with him, even though he had a few dodgy games with him, and said, "Don't worry about it." Right? Declan Rice owes his career.
And there would have been a few more of those now, wouldn't there? There would have been a few more youngsters come through.
There would have been.
He's known for it.
He knows a talent when he sees one, and he knows where to use them. Right? Not afraid to either.
You look at fucking Moyes, and he's so reluctant to bring fucking Rooney through.
Yeah. Oh, mate, he really pushed back on that. I mean, did you ever listen to the Blue Boys podcast that Rooney did? It's an Everton channel. It was fucking eye opening. Rooney does not like Moyes, right? And he didn't like him at all. He didn't. I mean, there was one moment that he said
he didn't want to play any of them youngsters. Everton had a little bit of a spell of having like youngsters coming through around about Moyes' final years.
Well, Ross Barkley, he was wasting him, sending out on loan, wouldn't use him.
Yeah,
you know, but
the bloke is all he's bothered about is his fucking self. You can tell that
he is 100%, mate. He is right. But anyway, man,
did you see that? Did you see his post? Sorry, I'll just say this before I head off. Did you see his post-match press conference where he kind of said,
sadly,
he was like going on about what?
I said, sadly, I did see it, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, normally, in the past, he's gone on about, fans leaving early, you know, but he came out with, I'm a football man, so yeah, I do get it. I just thought, no, you don't, you fucking wanker.
Bang on. Yeah. No, I don't think he does get it. I don't think he does get it. I just think he does.
I don't think he gets it.
He plays to the gallery. He says things, sound bites. I don't think he's talking to West Ham fans. You know who he's talking to? Like Sullivan, he's talking to the mainstream media.
Yes.
That's what that is who David Moyes is talking to in his post-match press conferences. He's not talking to West Ham fans. He's talking to fucking the mainstream media, how everyone else looks at him. That fucking wanker. You ain't going to get another job when you leave. He's a busted flush. You ain't going to get another job when he leaves here. This is as good as David Moyes is ever going to get now.
Yeah, he ain't getting another job.
He's way better than he's ever going to get. Right? Way better.
I think a really good thing about TalkSport tonight was like where Perry Groves said that, you know, what he said tonight.
Well,
what did he say? What did he say? Go
on. John mentioned this earlier on. So what did Perry Groves say?
I can't remember it word for word, but he basically called him out for like his tactics and stuff like that, really.
But he did call him out. It was a different tone, is what you're saying. A different tone to what we're normally used to hearing.
Yeah. And you don't normally get that, do you? Because it's normally like West Ham fans, what's the matter with them? Like they're, you know, look what he's achieved. Fuck off. We're paying money. We're paying money to be entertained. You don't go to a theatre and then the actor's shit, do you?
No.
Well, no.
Yeah, but that's where the narrative changes for people with Moyes in. It's not about entertainment anymore. It's a results-based business. And then,
he's results-based. It don't matter.
Results-based business. We should get that
about. Why is it the media thinks that he deserves that protection? I don't get it.
I think it comes back to what Gary alluded to earlier on, what we've all said before, and that is that David Moyes is part of a media agency that all of these people are connected to, and they all look after each other. That's what
they do. They do.
You know.
What are you saying there, Q&A? He said, my mate, Ali
McCoy. I'm not, anyone that's like listening, I'm not trying to offend, but he does strike me as a bit of a Mason, don't he? That type of.
It feels a little bit like that. It feels like he's got power that you don't realise. Like he's overpowered.
It could be. You might have hit on something there because he's very big into the Christian thing. I don't know whether he's Catholic or Protestant. I don't know, but he's very much into the baby Jesus, right? And I know that he's taken that to work before. I don't mind if people are religious. Be religious, fill your boots, right? But don't bring it to work, right? And he's brought it into the dressing room before, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if he makes a lot of his decisions based on that sort of stuff, right? And also, there was this thing,
Gary. I think he does. I think with the way he sets up, I think he relies on Jesus quite a lot.
Well, a lot of it he does, but if you look at the ones that he picked at Everton, the players, there are a few players who come through who were hardcore Christians, right? It's like I'm not trying to suggest. Yes, I am. I'm suggesting there is saying in it, right? And,
No, that's blasphemy. I'm not having that. Like, nah.
No. I think and I think Masons, you might have hit upon something there.
Now the Mason theory, I kind of agree with. It could be a bit like that, or like the boys' club and everything.
Someone needs to walk up to him and do him the old handshake and see if you get a little finger round the back.
Yeah, probably.
A little finger around the back.
Like that little finger around the back, almighty. But anyway, mate, thank you very much for the call, Lawrence.
Cheers,
Lovely.
Lawrence.
Okay, guys.
Right, we're going into the last call now, people. And this is Mo. Right now, please be nice in the chat. Like we said before, Mo's a guy who's struggling a little bit himself. And he's very upset when I spoke to him earlier on. So he just wants to phone up and just have his say on this situation, how it's making him feel and everything. So I'm going to give Mo a call now.
Mo will need the loving tonight.
He will.
Hello,
Mo.
Hello, Mo.
Good evening, everyone. How you guys doing?
Really good, mate. Really good. We've kind of had a good show. I feel much better than I did earlier on. It's been very therapeutic.
I can see you. I can see you. I'm glad you're feeling better. It's good to see you, Nick. You look good.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, before I get into anything, I just want to say congratulations to yourself and Karen Booth for 10,000 subscribers.
Cheers,
you
mate.
guys do a great job. And I've been listening from the beginning. So thank you again for another great show.
You're a top man.
No problem. Listen, Nick, when I called you earlier, I called you for a reason. It's because there's a few things I want to say. Now, I just want you guys to just hear me out, and all West Ham fans that are listening to this, just please hear me out. And when I finish talking, right, Nick, you feel free to respond how you like, but this needs to be said, okay?
Cool.
Now, before I get into David Moyes, I'll get to him in a minute, right? I just want to say that my heart is beating really, really fast, and I feel completely broken physically and mentally because today is one of the darkest days in our history. Whether people like it or not, it is. The result is a perfect reflection of not just the style of football, but the way the club is being run. Now, before I get into the whole David Moyes thing and, hashtag Moyes out, right, I'm phoning into Claret and Booze because I want to send a message to David Sullivan, Karen Brady, as well as the Gold family, whose father and husband were just as accountable for the lies to all the West Ham fans, okay?
Yep.
You've taken my football club and you've destroyed all that I love. You've taken my football club, promising us the dreams of ambition and fortune, and instead delivering nothing but a nightmare. You've taken my football club, alienating the working class fan base just so you could line your own pockets and make an extra £5 or £2. You've taken my football club, bulldoze Upton Park to the ground, and 8 years on still retain a manager who plays worse football than Jurassic Park, right? 14 years ago, I heard on the radio that you, David Sullivan, had bought 50% of the club with David Gold, with the operational and strategic control from your side. Back then, your history with Birmingham City was a reminder that you shouldn't be near another football club, right?
because you promised them fans a dream, but you delivered nothing but dildos on their doorstep. And them fans, them same fans, right, they drove you out because of your incompetence and lies. 14 years ago, David Sullivan, you stated very clearly that you want to rent the Olympic Stadium. It was around this time that Karen Brady also suggested we change our name from West Ham United to West Ham Olympic. 14 years ago, there wasn't one West Ham fan, including myself, that said we wanted Gold, Sullivan, Brady to look after our club. Let me remind all West Ham fans that's tuning into Claret and Booze, right? Listen to this. David Sullivan is a self-confessed Cardiff fan. Karen Brady is a self-confessed Arsenal fan.
Yep.
You lot don't understand West Ham United or what the club means to people like myself. 14 years of torture, 14 years of asset stripping, 14 years of a nightmare, 14 years of failed managers. Get out of our club. You've stolen this football club and left tears in my eyes. I don't recognise my team anymore. I don't recognise West Ham. I'm in pieces. I'm broken. And I hold those at the top responsible, right? And that's for David Moyes. Right? I am sick to the death of David Moyes. I am sick to the death of the man. I am sick to the death of seeing him in the dugout, okay? I'm sick to the death of conceding an avalanche of possession every game and playing negative football. His football is outdated. His football is boring. His football is drier than the Sahara Desert. His football doesn't fit the West Ham ethos. West Ham are an attacking side, a wonderful club, and we always have been. I want to see the flair of Di Canio again. I want to see brutality like Julian Dix again. I want to see endeavour like Billy Bonds again. 6'2", eyes are blue. Billy Bonds, after you. I want to see commitment to keeping the ball out like Ludwig McCloskey, right? I know the board are not going to listen to the fans. I know they're going to retain David Moyes. So my message to David Sullivan and the rest of the board is the same message that Adam and the Ants put back in the 80s. Stand and deliver. Stand and deliver, or go do one where the sun don't shine.
Yeah. Well done, Mo. That was top draw, Mo. Top draw,
mate. Yeah,
passion there, Mo.
That was very good, very good, very good.
I can't argue with any of that, mate. Yeah, Jesus, and it is true, 100%.
It is every word.
You can't.
I'm really sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to raise my voice like that.
No.
Mate, you hammered that in fucking brilliant. You hammered that in brilliantly.
I'm almost in tears. I'm just seeing my football club the way it is and conceding 6 goals. I'm broken, mate. I'm absolutely broken. I'm like, mentally, I ain't doing good, and West Ham is all that I really have. And I know I've said this before many times, but this has just like drained me.
Yeah,
absolutely drained.
I'll tell you what, Mo. What you got to focus on, Mo, is that West Ham is bigger than David Moyes and David Sullivan, right? In our lifetimes, we've seen.
14 years.
I know, but in our lifetimes, Mo, we've seen. We know that West Ham have been very, very different for most of that time. We will get back to that. It's just a matter of when we will get back to that, because the sort of how can I say, that West Ham, it's not West Ham United PLC, West Ham United Limited. It's a sort of entity. It don't exist, right? It's like it's in all our heads and our hearts, sort of thing. Difficult to articulate, but that sort of entity is there. That's what we support. It's that thing that's West Ham, right? And they can't take that away from us ever. They can try, but they're not going to take it away from us. Sullivan will be gone sooner rather than later. I think a lot of this asset stripping that went on in the January transfer window, it's for one of two reasons. It's for a new manager, or it's to sell the club. One of the two things. I don't know what it is. That keeping hold of Moyes until the summer could also be because we're selling the club, right? I fucking hope that's why Stuyton's there, because that's what we predicted at the start of the season, right? It's horrible that we have to go through this agony, because it is agony, and it's like they're teasing us. It's like they're fucking, how can I say, just taking the piss out of us. Really, they play us down. They don't rate us. Perhaps we will get a new owner one day who does rate us and does respect the fans and brings back the real West Ham.
Cool, mate.
You're getting a lot of support as well, Mo. It was well said.
You are, mate.
It's something that you need to get off your chest. It was great to hear. Show the passion.
But listen, Mo. What you got to bear in mind is, mate, is I know you're struggling at the moment. I know you are, but the fact of the matter is, through whatever happens, this season or next or anything else, you need to understand that West Ham, we're always going to be here. I mean, we've toyed with the idea before saying we're going to walk away. We can't walk away. We're not going to. So we're going to fight the fight. We've got a great community on here. You're part of that. So you have to realise that and don't.
If you walk away, you give them what they want, right? You give them what they want. Let's stay.
And don't feel like don't. It is upsetting what's going on at the moment, and a lot of people that are watching this. You probably might have Arsenal fans watching this, going, "Oh, look at them." But he's upset because we lost 6-0. He's not upset because we lost fucking 6-0. This has been going on forever. If you, like you said, this is a culmination of everything. We're having a piss taken out of us.
Yeah,
we are. So much.
Yeah, it ain't nice. It ain't nice.
Too much.
But Mo, look after yourself and don't let it's difficult. It's easy to say, right? Because you love West Ham like we all do, but you got to put that in a box and sort of wait until next week. Don't let it dominate your week, right? It's if you think about it, you'll overthink about it, and it'll just wind you up more and more and more. I know it does with me anyway, right?
Can I also make one point, please? It's a separate issue. It's regarding Mark Noble. My little brother, I think it was at Rush Green, was waiting for the players to come out. This is before they banned fans standing outside for autographs. Mark Noble was in his car signing all the kids' autographs and everything. When my brother asked him, he said no to my brother because he took one look at him and said that he accused my little brother, just a kid, of being one of those people who take players' autographs and sells it on eBay for a fortune. And we've been supporters of Mark Noble for a really long time, and my little brother was really upset for it. And the reason I'm mentioning this on Claret and Booze is because Mark Noble's supposed to be the ambassador of our football club. I've been a supporter of Mark Noble for many years. I've been a supporter of West Ham for many years, and to hear that, it just really hurt. For that reason, I've refused to buy Mark Noble's book, and I feel really hurt that the ambassador of our football club would do something like that. So I just want to make that clear on Claret and Booze. It really hurts because we wouldn't lie about things like that. I'll give you my word,
No, that's horrible. That is fucking horrible.
All I will say is, I mean, if that is the case and that is the type of thing that's happening, then God's
my witness. God's my witness.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you that Mark Noble's becoming as disconnected with the fan base as his fucking boss that he's working for at the moment. And maybe that's what happens when you're in that sort of situation. Maybe he's. We're just the little people. We don't fucking matter. And
you know who called my little brother over afterwards? Jared Bowen. He said, "Come on, mate, I'll sign your thing." He stopped him, put his down, called my little brother over, and I'm looking at his signed shirt. And my little brother gifted it to me. I'm looking at it right now. He gifted it to me, a Jared Bowen signed shirt, because he knows it's my favourite player. But Mark Noble, why would he do that? I mean, why?
Yeah.
The kid. Yeah. And I lost all respect. I lost all respect for him, and I said, I'll never go near him again.
Well, look. I mean, Ryan Archer knows Noble. He's from West Ham Fan TV. He said that's very out of character for Noble. I mean, look, it's not acceptable, but maybe you could put it down to him having a fucking bad day or something like that. I don't know. But
he signed everyone else's. But he signed everyone else's.
Put it down to anything. I don't think you put it down to anything. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. To be fair, he's for the fans.
My little brother's just a little kid, he wasn't asking much. He was just going to get an autograph and walk away. He's a big West Ham fan. I come from a family of West Ham. Okay, we love this club. We love this club very much. We're working class people. We're honest people. And we love this football club very much. We don't want to be treated like that from anyone, from the board to the manager to the ambassador.
It's horrible because I just don't want to think of Noble like that. But then when you do, you think about it and you think, when you look at the people that he's working for, and it does make you wonder. The club, the fan base hasn't changed, but I think the club's changing.
Yeah.
My little brother tried to explain to me, well, look, I don't know what else to say to you. I'm a fan, and in the end, things happened the way it did.
Yeah.
But I felt that you guys at Claret and Booze had a right. All right. Thank you very much for listening.
Thanks for sharing, Mo, and thanks for writing that earlier. That was brilliant.
Mo, that was a very powerful call, mate. It was a really powerful call. It was.
I just want to apologise to you guys and everyone who's listening to this.
Don't be silly.
No, don't be silly.
Please forgive me.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. You do realise the channel that you're on. You talked about.
I agree with this though, Mo. Someone's put up Bowen autograph. He's better anyway than the Noble one, so fuck him.
Yeah, Bowen's better. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I'm sorry for taking too much of your time. Thank you for giving me a call back. I really appreciate it.
No, that's
Cheers,
fine,
Mo.
Cheers, Mo. Thank you.
Nice one, Mo.
Nick, before you go, I know that was powerful, but I want to lighten the mood just a little bit, right? Before you go into the last call, right?
I don't know. That's it.
I just want. Oh, right. All right. Well, let me listen, people. Listen, people. This is. I'm going to read you 3 paragraphs from a Guardian article interview with a guy called Roy McDonough, who played for with Moyes in a struggling Cambridge United side in 1984-85. As revealed in his autobiography, Red Card Roy. Right. He was an hard nut. Yeah. So Moyes was one of a trio of active Christians at the club, the others being Alan Comfort and Graham Daniels. They were described by McDonough as Cambridge's Holy Trinity, McDonough writes. The 3 of them sat in a changing room with a little black book discussing their beliefs when they should be getting psyched up for a relegation scrap instead, right? I'd cut out a lurid tabloid newspaper story and stick it on the notice board in front of them saying, see that pervert? That's what you'll end up like. Vickers messing around with choir boys, but they just sat and turned the other cheek. McDonough goes on to describe how he completely lost the plot with the God Squad after a 3-3 draw at Wigan, in which he had a bruising running battle with 3 opposition centre-halves. I was still in a bad temper after the game, sinking a couple of cans on the coach before launching into a fully blown persecution of the Christians. In my mind, they were part of the problem. They were too nice on the pitch, not nasty enough to win games. So it was like turning up with 8 men each week. I battered Moyes, first demanded to know why a big ginger jock from Glasgow Celtics could play with absolute zero aggression, putting all of his energies into bleating about Jesus instead. Alan Comfort had scored that day, so I gave him a wide berth. But there was no respite for Graham Daniels, who'd recently become a father, right? But way out of his contract, was out of his contract at the end of the season. And you, I spewed. I'm fighting the world for this team and you're doing nothing. Forget all that little black book bollocks. Where is God when we're fighting for our lives and getting beaten each week? He's not giving us much help, is he? You've had no chance of getting a new contract here. Who's going to fend for your baby and put food on the plate? Daniels just looked up at the roof of the coach, smiled and said 3 words. He will provide.
Oh, fuck off.
I could have baptized him with a can of beer there and then, but I didn't want to waste it. After all, I've never bothered saying anything again, so the 3 of them stuck to their beliefs. Comfort, by the way, who later played for Orient and Middlesbrough, became a vicar. He works in Walthamstow. He's Leighton Orient's club chaplain. Daniels is the general director of Christians in Sport. And that's what I think, the Christians in Sport. I think that's where this little, it's not the Freemasons. I think that's where it comes from.
Oh, right. God Squad.
Yeah.
That's
enlightening, isn't it? Enlightening.
That's brilliant. That's a lighter way to end the show. That's nice.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. But look, anyway, I think that was a very, very fucking powerful show tonight. That was good.
Really
amazing callers the whole way through, every single one of them. I do feel drained. I feel absolutely drained now. And what's this from Ryan Archer?
Ryan, I see that.
He says, Neil Ruddock gave me my mates a lift to Shad Relief Station after a training once, and he refused to take us all the way back to Ken in town, though. I've still got the photos of us in the car. What was it, Ryan, before you go, what was it you said when you got, didn't you get an autograph from Ruddock or something when you was younger? And he wrote, was it Ruddock? And he wrote an expletive.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Ruddock you was talking about on one of your shows. That was funny.
Sure I like Ruddock though, even now.
Yeah. But look, it was a brilliant show. That's our biggest ever show as well. We had 1,900 people watching us.
I know.
awful long time. Look, he's
Yeah,
confirmed.
called me a cunt.
Yeah, look. So basically, Neil Razor Ruddock wrote in a kid's book. He signed into it, and he called me a cunt. He was only 15.
Brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. I don't make him like that anymore.
No.
But no, look, brilliant. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm shattered.
Yeah, long show. Nearly, you got me nearly do 4 hours, you fuckers.
Oh no, it was worth it though. It was worth it.
Yeah.
You know, we had to
right.
give everyone their say.
Yeah.
You know you're right, didn't he?
We did. Yeah.
No, right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Fucking hell. You need a sleep.
Sorry, I'm half asleep now. Should we play ourselves out with a bit of Jota?
Yeah, God.
Yeah, go on then.
Right. No, not everyone.
Good night.
This is one of the players we could have had.
When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jota on the wings, Jota on the wings. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. A superstar from Portugal. When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jota on the wing, Jota on the wing. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. A superstar from Portugal. Da 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 la 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 la. Da 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 dum. La da 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 dum. La da da da.
This song is available for download on Spotify and iTunes. No, it's not really. Welcome to the Sunday Night Talkhammers show here on